Janet Kelly is suing her ex-boyfriend, Richard Rick Sarna, for money lost when she co-signed on his Ford Expedition. Janet says Rick is a con man.
Order. All rise.
Now, this is case number 32 on the calendar in the matter of Kelly versus Sarna. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Kelly, have you ever watched this courtroom program in
Yes.
the last 10 years? You ever watch me?
Yes.
Did you ever watch me with women?
Yes.
Did you ever watch me tell women, don't get him a credit card, don't take out a loan for him, don't buy him a cell phone, don't buy him clothes? Did you ever hear me say that?
Yes, I have stupid right here.
Now, in all the time that you've watched this program, can you think of a percentage of the times that you have the man on that side and the woman on that side of the bench, and he's complaining because he gave her credit cards and a cell phone and clothes, a computer, and got rims for her car? Can you think of how many times
Never.
you saw that? Maybe on one hand in 10 years. It's always the other way around. You look like an intelligent woman. Why do you think that is, Miss Kelly?
Because I was brought up that way.
To what?
To be honest and truthful.
You weren't brought up to be a sucker.
No.
But that's what we're talking about.
Yes. Well, I didn't think I'd meet a con man either.
Let's go back a bit.
Okay.
It's your claim that you met Mr. Sarna. He needed a car. To make a long story short, in September or October, he found a car. It was a very expensive car. What kind of car did you find, Mr. Sarna?
A Ford Expedition.
That's a pretty big car. And how much was the car, sir?
45,000, I think, somewhere in that area.
45,000. With tax and tags, it came up to close to 50,000.
I'm not sure if the 45 was everything or if it's, I'm not positive.
49.
Close to 50.
Okay.
And you didn't have any credit, is that right?
No, I had credit, but
But you had lousy credit.
I had one error on my credit report, which I had it cleared up right here.
Put it down. Whatever. You couldn't get a loan on the car.
Right. It showed me having 2 mortgages.
I
And I only had the one.
Listen, that's not my problem. Bottom line is, you saw this $50,000 car and you could not get a loan in your name on it, right?
Well, that's what they told me because of the error on my credit report.
Who do you think's going to have the last word here, you or me?
You will, Your Honor,
You're absolutely right. So you couldn't get a loan, correct?
at that time.
So what did you do?
Well, the salesman suggested to Miss Kelly that she put the loan in her name, and then after I got the credit taken care of, we could refinance the vehicle and put it in my name.
Bottom line, she got the loan in her name.
Correct.
And in order for the loan to be in her name, she had to have her name on the title to the car, right?
Correct.
Is his name on the title too?
No.
Just yours.
Just mine.
That was in September of 2005?
Correct.
So you had the car part of September,
Correct.
part of October,
Correct.
and part of November.
Correct.
And then she took the car back.
Correct.
Your lawsuit is you took the car back because you found out that he was a fraud, that he had had lots of bad credit. That's what you say. You didn't want to be subjected to the vagaries of his financial problems, and you felt as if you had been deceived. You took the car back, ultimately sold it back to the company, and you took a $24,000 loss. And you want him to at least pay $5,000 of that. Why didn't you sell the car privately?
I did try to sell it privately. I tried to sell it for 2 months. I had it on eBay. I had it in Auto
You
Trader.
certainly could have sold it without taking a $25,000 loss.
I had it up for sale like the next day, driving around with signs on it, advertising it. Nobody was calling because it was during the holidays. I guess people don't buy cars at that time.
Miss Kelly, why would they take off after 3 months $25,000? Show me. I want to see how much they gave you on the car.
That's right here. I sold it to Mossy Ford. I had to pay these 2 checks add up to $24,000. I had to go take a second out on my home to pay this off because otherwise I would have had to just turn the car over and file bankruptcy myself. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have bad credit. I worked hard to establish the good credit I had, and I didn't want this person to ruin my credit. He doesn't realize what he did.
Okay. Now, when was the first payment due on the car, Mr. Sarna?
It was October 20th, I believe, Your Honor.
Did you make that payment?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you made one payment on the car?
No, I made 2 payments.
When was the next payment?
November 20th.
Now I'd like you to show me the proof of those 2 payments.
This was a copy of the final payment that I made because it was 2 days right before that we had broken up. I have the check number for the other one, but I don't have a copy of it.
Okay. Now, when did you meet Mr. Sarna, Miss Kelly?
I met him New Year's Eve, 2004.
So at the time you took out this loan, you had known him for approximately 8 months.
He was my neighbor. He moved in 2 doors down from me, and we started dating.
Okay, fine.
And you want to hear the story?
Well, I want you to tell me what cause of action you think you had. You had an agreement with Mr. Sarna, as far as I can tell. The agreement was that he was to make the payments on the car until he could get it refinanced into his name.
Correct.
And once he did that, you would be off the hook.
Yes.
He made the payments on the car.
Correct.
October and November. November 21st, according to your complaint, you went and took the car back.
Yes.
And he had made his last payment on
November 20th.
November 17th. So up until that point, you had no basis to take the car back.
No, because
that
he
was just a second, because that was your contract with him.
Correct.
That was your verbal agreement with him. Your verbal agreement was he would make the payments, the car would be in your name until he paid off the car, or got his credit cleared up and was able to take the loan out of your name and put it in his name. Now, what intervening factor was there that you believe voids that contract?
Well, when we were dating, we were seeing quite a bit of each other, and Rick and his daughter was always over at my home with my daughter, and we were becoming like a family. We were playing games together. I was cooking dinner. We were just really happy. So we did decide to live together, but before we did that, I was over at his house, and I said, are you in any kind of financial debt? Because he is a server, and I think he was upset by me asking him that, because I know his rent is $1,600, and he had his car payment and his utilities, and he paid for his daughter's college. And so I was just a little bit skeptical, and he told me, he goes, Janet, he goes, I make as much money as you do. And I'm thinking, well, I don't think so, but why would I not believe him?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Bing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
But I wasn't thinking.
Listen.
I was thinking.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
I know that now.
Well, then what are you doing here, Miss Kelly?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janet Kelly is suing her ex-boyfriend, Richard Rick Sarna, for money lost when she co-signed on his Ford Expedition. Janet says Rick is a con man.
Go ahead.
So we decided to move in. He decided to move in, and so he started moving his daughter's stuff over.
When?
This was probably the middle of September.
When did he move in?
He never did really move in.
Right.
Because he was under...
according to your complaints, he started moving his things in November.
Yes.
And that was after the car was purchased.
Yes.
So you had had this discussion with him
I had the
before he moved in.
Before he moved in. I had the discussion before the car was purchased.
Well, that's not what you told me.
Well, I'm sorry. I meant we had
We were
the discussion.
talking about moving in.
His daughter started moving in, and he took my daughter's computer out of the room and hooked up his daughter's computer.
Get to something that's
Okay,
important,
well,
please.
I went in there to use the computer, and he had just put this brand new desk together, and I opened up the cupboards and looked in the desk, and there was all of his bills. So I pulled the bills out, and he had the IRS after him from back in 2003. All of his utilities were 2 to 3 months delinquent, and he had a credit card with over $10,000 on it, and the minimum payment was $562, and he was only paying $30 on that. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, my name is on this vehicle, and I found all of these bills. And I asked him point blank, do you have any financial debts? And he said no. So why would I ask him any more than that? And so when he came home from work, I confronted him right then and there. And I said, what is this? And he goes, I can't believe you don't have any respect for me. You went through my stuff. I said, no, I didn't go through stuff. I just looked in there. It's out of character me to snoop, but something told me to look there, and I did. So he told me, he goes, look, he goes, you don't pay those bills. Do I ever ask you to pay those? I said, no. I said, but you are not paying those bills either. I said, now you have another bill to have to pay. I said, if you were smart, you would have paid off all of your bills, and then you would have bought another car. You don't go out and get more into debt with my good name.
You're absolutely right.
It's not right. I work too hard to get the things I have. I don't put things on credit. I pay for them, cash.
So why did you do it for him?
Because I loved him.
Right.
I know. Stupid. I know.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a buyer for a biotech company.
You know how to do a background and credit check on somebody?
Yes.
That's all you had to do.
Well, why would I
baby.
run a
Just
credit check on
second.
somebody?
Because you already had somewhere in the back of your mind that he's a waiter, so you had a question to begin with, right?
Yes.
You were buying a $50,000 car. You could find a car for $15,000 too, right?
Correct.
You could have found a cheaper car, but you didn't. You found a really expensive car that you liked. When he went to get the loan for the car, you were with him, and they said to him, sorry. Bing, ling, 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 ling.
I know. But I wasn't thinking.
Listen.
I was thinking.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
I know. I know that now.
Well, then what are you doing here, Miss Kelly? What are you doing here? You had a contract with Mr. Sarna, as a ridiculous contract as it was, that he was going to make these car payments. Car was in your name. He was going to, at some point, get the car put in his name. You found these outstanding bills and loans, and without saying to him, listen, you have 30 days.
I did say that.
Just a second. You have 30 days to get this loan out of my name and put it in your name, or I'm taking the car back. You didn't do that. According to your complaint, you took the car back that day.
No. Here, I have a promissory note that I had made up on the 10th of November, and...
Your Honor, this is what I was dealing with every day. It's one day it's one way, one day it's the next.
Oh, Mr. Sarna, you think I feel sorry for you, sir?
No.
You behaved like a pig. You got somebody else to put their name on the line. You owe the IRS money?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Did you owe the IRS money?
I did.
How much?
What's paid off, it was $1,000 originally. It was on a monthly installment.
How much did you pay them?
The final balance, I mean, or...
The total?
The total amount was like $1,900 or something like that.
You just told me it was $1,000.
No, you said when I paid it off at the time when I was with Ms.
No,
Kelly.
I said, what was the total you owed the IRS?
About $1,900.
When?
From the year before 2004. But it was on a monthly
The year before 2004 would be 2003. What's the matter? That's hard?
The year before we met.
What kind of car do you have now?
It's a Nissan Xterra.
Nissan Xterra.
Yes.
he went out 2 days late.
Nissan Xterra.
Correct.
In whose name is it?
It's in my daughter's name and my name.
How old's your daughter?
My daughter is 20. My name is on the loan for her vehicle because she was 18 when she got it.
How much did you pay for it?
I believe around $20,000.
So when you had to get a car yourself, you didn't buy a car for $50,000, you bought a car for $20,000.
Correct.
Why is that, Mr. Sarna?
Because Janet went with me when we were looking for the car originally, and so we were driving other new expeditions, whatever, and she liked the same one that I did. And even the salesman said that Janet's whole demeanor came down when she got into this other expedition that we were driving.
You mean just a second. You mean the car salesman told her that her whole demeanor changed when she got into the
Correct.
expedition?
Correct.
You're some piece of work. Mr. Sarna, you bought this expedition and you were planning to pay for it every single month. And you had enough money for that.
Correct.
And you liked the car.
Correct.
So immediately after she took back the car, you went and bought a car that was less than half of the cost of the car that you bought when she was stuck with the car loan.
Correct.
And you want me to believe that you did that, sir, despite the fact that you could afford to pay for a $50,000 car, you decided to have a $20,000 car.
The reason for that is because of the credit error that I had on my TRW, and that's what was in the process of being corrected, and that's what I have a copy of right here.
Well, so did they correct it?
They did.
Well, if they corrected it, why didn't you buy another expedition?
Because I had to get something right away. Because she took the car, I had no way of going back and forth to work. I didn't have a choice of waiting until this got corrected in 90 days.
Why not?
Because of the fact that I couldn't qualify for a higher-end loan.
That's right. You couldn't qualify for it. A stranger wouldn't give you a $50,000 car, but somebody who went... Instead of using her head, she did. I don't know what you found attractive in him. To be honest with you, Miss Kelly, I really don't. You're an intelligent, attractive woman. Seems to know what she's doing. What you found in this man, I haven't a clue.
I don't know either.
I don't know either. I mean, you really ought to consider yourself very, very fortunate.
I do.
Because at worst, it cost you $24,000.
I could have lost my home.
You could have lost your home, you could have lost your life, you could have been stuck with him for 5 years.
I know.
You could have been part of equitable distribution, you would have had to give him half your home. You know, just think about that.
I know.
Just think about having your wagon hooked to this star for the next 10, 15 years. Miss Kelly, he's a bum. He's a bum, but you have no case because you had a contract with him, and your contract said he was going to make the payments, and ridiculous as it seems, the 2 payments that he was required to make, he made.
Yes, but as soon as I found out all those bills, I wanted him to put that car in his name right away.
Then, just a minute, then you're changing the contract. That's why we're here. This
Well,
is
it was
a
going to
court.
be January anyway. I told him I would give him till January. I told him, I will give you till January. I didn't say right away because I knew that took 60 to 90 days. I agreed. I will wait until January.
Okay.
He was the one that came back and says, no, I need 6 months. I said, why do you need 6 months? He wanted 6 months longer.
That was never discussed, Your Honor.
Yes, it was.
It was after the first of the years when it was talked about, and she was going to leave me without a car. She said, I'll wait till after the first of the year, but you're not going to have the car. I will take possession of the car. She took it that day.
Ms. Kelly, you can't change a contract unilaterally. And your contract with him was, just as I indicated, that he made the payments, he was going to get the car transferred out of your name, the loan into his name, and you were furious when you saw all of these debts.
Because he lied. He committed fraud. What about fraud?
No, he didn't commit fraud. When you pillow talk lies, that's not fraud, Miss Kelly. That's pillow talk.
But I agreed for him to keep the vehicle until January because his lease was up in January. He wanted me to give him an extra 6 months so that he could move out of that place and move someplace with that vehicle that I paid for when I wouldn't even know where he'd be living at.
I never had the option of keeping the vehicle.
This is the promissory note that I had written up. He wanted me to go out 6 months. I agreed to 3. I agreed to go to March. This is the promissory note that I took over there, but he would not sign it because he wanted me to change it another 6 months more.
Just a second. When did you take the car away?
I didn't take the car away till the 21st of November.
Why?
Because he wanted to go visit his mother in Arizona. And I was not going to allow him to take that vehicle out of state without me going in there. So I stayed in this relationship until he went to see his mother. And then we came back. The next day I moved all of his stuff out.
You can't change a contract unilaterally because somebody in pillow talk tells you that they're financially solvent and it turns out that they're not.
It, though.
I'm speaking. And it turns out that they're not. You're a smart lady. You had your heart operating when your head should have been operating. And quite frankly, I don't understand why a smart lady would sell a car back to a company after the car being used for 60 days at a $24,000 loss. I don't get that. You had no right to take the car from him when you did, and if you sold it at a loss, that's unfortunately your problem. Next time you'll know better. I don't think you're a very nice person, sir. You understand that? I think that you misled her.
I did not, but
I think that you Mr. Sarna, I think that you misled her. And I think that you were a pig. I think that you got her to commit herself to a $50,000 car that you could ill afford to take care of. Ill afford to take care of on a long-term basis, unless you're doing something other than waiting on tables, sir, which is a possibility, but I won't go into that right now. Something that gives you a lot more cash.
No, Your Honor.
Because there are very few people that can afford $900 a month in a car payment and pay for their daughter's college and pay for room and pay for board, and pay for eating, and pay for gas, and make an insurance payment on what you make as a waiter. Goodbye, Mr. Sarna.
Goodbye, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now it's case number 86 on the calendar in the matter of Thomas versus Williams. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Thomas, you and the defendant were involved in a relationship. That relationship produced one child, a little girl.
Yes, ma'am.
And you currently have full custody of that child.
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint is that some time ago, Miss Williams had you arrested for assault, domestic violence. You spent a couple of days in jail. Subsequently, you defended that case for 2 years. Miss Williams never showed up in court, and the case was dismissed. Miss Williams says that you did, in fact, behave in a violent manner that day. You did, in fact, assault her, and she had every reason to call the police. Did he assault you on that
Yes,
day, Miss
ma'am.
Williams? How many times have you been assaulted?
Say 3 times.
By whom?
Stuart Thomas.
Was this the first, second, or third time?
It's the 3rd time.
So the last time. Is that right?
Uh-huh.
What was the date?
December the 20th.
Where were you?
I was at his house.
Where was your daughter?
She was there.
How old is your daughter?
She's 7.
How many children do you have?
I have 3.
What are their ages?
I have a 3-year-old and a 7-month.
So only the 7-year-old was there.
Oh, no. My 7-year-old and my 3-year-old was there. At the time, he was 4 months.
Who's the father of that child?
His name is Curtis.
So you had a relationship in between Mr. Thomas and this event
Yes,
on
ma'am.
December 20th, 2003. Okay, so you tell me what happened.
The night before
your hands
this had
down.
happened, Judge Judy, he threatened to kill me and my kids. He said he was going to kill the whole family.
So why didn't you leave?
Out there where he lived at, the last bus that I already ran, I didn't have no way home.
Do you have a telephone in your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you call somebody?
I ain't had no one to come pick me up.
Why didn't you call the police?
I was trying to make it work with him.
All right, so you weren't so worried, you stayed over. And what happened the next day?
The next morning we woke up.
So you slept in the room with him?
I slept in the living room. He was in his room.
You slept in the living room?
Yeah, I slept in the living room. He was in his room.
Go ahead.
Okay. We woke up. He had an attitude. After that it happened, he was like he wanted us to leave. He started...
Okay. He said what? He said, I want you to leave?
Uh-huh.
And what did you say?
I told him I would leave. I had to get my kids together.
And how were you going to do that?
Put their clothes on, and we was going to leave. And we were sitting in a chair. He knocked me and my little boy out the chair.
How did he do that?
With his fist. He just, knocked us out the chair. And we fell backwards. My little boy hit his mouth on the floor, which didn't nothing happen, but he hit his mouth on the floor. When I got ready to call the police at that time, he snatched his phone wires out the plug. I went downstairs. I used a woman's phone. I came back upstairs. I told him we was leaving. He hit me in my mouth.
Just a second. Why did you go back upstairs and tell him you were leaving? This is a man who's just punched you, Miss Williams, knocked you over with your baby. Now you're downstairs and he's upstairs, so he's no longer a threat to you. Why did you go back upstairs to tell him you were leaving?
I went to get my kids. My kids were still up there, Judge.
Well, what were your kids doing up there? I thought the baby was in your arms.
I sat him down. He was still up there.
Just a second. You left the baby upstairs?
Yeah, the baby.
With him?
There. Uh-huh.
And you left your daughter, where was she?
She was upstairs.
And you went downstairs and you dialed 911.
Uh-huh. Police came out. They looked at my face and they seen where he had busted my lip. They asked him, did he hit me? He said no, but they had seen it and they locked him up.
All right, Mr. Thomas, tell me your version of the events. What happened that day, please?
It all started off December the 22nd of 2003.
22nd?
Yes. She had called me previously the day before and told me she was about to get put out and she had nowhere to go. I told her, you know what, you have my daughter, come live with me. You know, you have my daughter. I want to make sure my daughter's not homeless.
What date did she call you? Was that the 22nd?
21st.
21st. So she was just there for one day?
Before this ordeal happened, yes.
How long had it been since you hadn't been together?
We had not been together for a while, but honestly, we were still having sex.
That's honest? So she called you and said she was about to be put out and you told her to come?
Yes, I was like, yes.
And she came with both your daughter and this child from another relationship?
Yes, and I was willing to put up a house for them.
Okay, so what happened?
I came home from work. I used to work at a bar/restaurant. I came home one night. It was probably late. She accused me of cheating, and I told her, look, you know, I'm doing this for you. You can leave my daughter here, and you can go. She left, went downstairs from what she said. I don't know where she went, and called the police and came up with this story about how I hit her and did this, that, and another. And she said I had a gun and accused me of trying to kill them. The cops tore my house up.
Yeah, I know. It says here that she told the police that there was a gun.
Yeah, my house is so small that you could have been in the kitchen and spit into the bathroom. Cops tore my house up looking for this gun. There was no gun. And for another thing that she said, if there was any bruises or anything on her, the Commonwealth of Kentucky would have took that case up no matter what. No matter if she didn't show up, no matter if I didn't show up.
There was... Who were you?
I'm her witness.
To what?
Because the reason why they got in trouble, he was talking to me on the phone, and that's the reason why they got into it. Because when they were getting back together, we were also still talking, still having sex, if you want to do whatnot. Basically, what happened was he was playing both sides of the fence.
I don't care, madam. This is not a drama. All I'm interested in, put your hand down. Were you there on the 22nd of December?
No, he called me afterwards, after he got out and was bragging about it, though.
No.
Just a second. Now, you say that he called you after his arrest?
After he got out, yes, ma'am.
What date was that he called you?
I'm not for sure about the date, but it was after Christmas.
All right. You are no longer together, I assume?
No, ma'am.
For how long haven't you been together?
We was together. We started going in 2000 in December, and we broke up 4 years because he cheated on me and had sex with her.
All right, good. So you're not crazy about him. I'd like you to tell me what you claim he said to you when he called you. Look at me. And I want you to be very, very careful. I want you to tell me what you claim he said to you when he called you after Christmas.
He was like that.
Wait just a second. Where were you when he called you?
I was at home.
And where was he?
At home.
And you hadn't seen him since he got out of jail?
No, ma'am.
Who called whom?
For sure he called me.
Are you sure that
yes,
he called
ma'am,
you?
I'm sure.
And what did you say to him, and what did he say to you? He said hi.
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you
hi,
say?
and I was like, well, how you doing? What have you been up to? And he was like, well, I've been locked up. It's like, well, how did you get locked up? Well, Tasha got me locked up. I said, well, how did Tasha get you locked up? Well, she says I hit her and tried to shoot her with a gun or whatever, but I'm not worried about it because I'm going to beat it. I was like, did you do it? And he was like, I'm not going to say nothing. They're going to incriminate me in the future. I was like, okay.
Did that conversation take place?
No.
Sit down.
Yes, and...
Shh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Judge allowed you to have therapeutic visits with the child.
She wanted to make it seem like I was the one hurting my child, which he's the one hurting. I got proof right here, Judge Judy.
And later today,
He took the car, despite the fact that this was your car, and they found the car burnt to a crisp. According to you, she's responsible to pay off the car loan.
Yes, ma'am.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stuart Thomas claims ex-girlfriend Latasha Williams had him falsely arrested for an assault. Latasha claims Stuart hit her and set her shoes on fire.
Miss Williams, Mr. Thomas was granted custody of your daughter when?
November the 23rd, 2005.
You were granted visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there a full trial after Mr. Thomas was granted custody of your daughter?
No, ma'am.
You consented to him having custody?
Huh? No.
If you didn't consent to him having custody, madam, then there had to be a trial, a hearing.
Okay, the judge gave him custody of her. We went back to court, and then nothing happened.
Do you have the order of custody?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
There's a great story behind it I think you should read, and it will tell you about the character of Latasha Williams.
All right, so there was a hearing. Both of you who attended the hearing. Neither one of you was represented by counsel. Who are you?
I'm her fiance. Ray Sean, yeah, there was no hearing on that case.
There was a hearing. I just read it. Sit down.
There was no hearing on that case.
Sit down, sir. There was a hearing. You think the judge is lying?
Yes.
The judge is lying, yeah.
That's a
Judge
certified
Judy,
document.
she lied. Judge Judy, just judge. She lied through the whole thing. He
There was no
lied.
hearing.
Just a second. Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Does your child go to a special school?
Yes, ma'am.
Because of a handicapping condition.
ma'am.
And you received a disability check for the child because of this handicapping condition.
I received a disability check. And
You received the disability
one
check.
time.
Listen to me very carefully. This is all evidence that the judge took at the hearing. Your statements are contained in this order.
We wasn't there.
Judge. Oh,
Get him out of here, please.
Louisville's a long way from her, buddy.
Miss Williams, I want you to listen to me very carefully. Try to appreciate what I'm saying, because
Okay.
I'm only going to say it one more time. Because there was no jury, because there was no fanfare, does not mean there wasn't a trial in the family court. There was a trial. There was testimony taken. The judge quotes you here and says you gave testimony that sometimes you let this little girl live with your grandmother. Sometimes you let your little girl live with your mother. That's testimony. The judge has no stake in lying about whether or not testimony was taken. And because there wasn't a jury and it didn't look like Perry Mason, doesn't mean that there wasn't a trial. There was a trial. Now, after this trial, he was granted primary physical custody. And my question to you, Miss Williams, is you were granted visitation. During the time you were granted visitation, did you ever take the child to a hospital alleging that Mr. Thomas had abused this child?
Yes, ma'am. And
Just a second. On what date did you take the child to a hospital?
January the 29th.
Can I see the report, please, of the hospital?
I have it right here.
I'd like to see it.
There you go.
And I have this.
Just a... What did you tell the hospital your complaint was?
When my daughter told him that he had beat her at school for crying, my mama touched my daughter's leg the night before. 2 days before I took her to the hospital, Judge
Two
Judy.
days before.
We picked up at the courthouse. She was happy to see us because she hadn't seen us in a while. The whole time he had her, he would bring her like once.
Listen to me. If you hadn't seen her for a while, this was one of the first visitations that you had on the weekend after he got custody?
No, the first one
was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
And you took her to the hospital complaining that he had beaten her?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see the result of the investigation, please?
I don't have the result of the investigation, but I still have my daughter, and I have something from the judge and the CPS
Can I
workers
see
saying
it,
they don't
please?
even believe her. Because, I mean, if she was being abused...
This report believes that Child Protective Services believes that the mother is untruthful, that henceforth you were to only have supervised visitation with the child, mother to have only therapeutic visits with the court until further order of the court. Has there been a subsequent order?
Yes, and she still has not seen her daughter because she's too lazy to get up and go to 7 counties.
So are you telling me that the last time you saw the child was sometime in January?
That was the last time I seen her.
Judge allowed you to have therapeutic visits with the child.
Because Judge, she wanted to make it seem like I was the stupid one, and I was the one hurting my child, which he's the one hurting. I got proof right here, Judge Judy.
Listen, there is no question in my mind that the order that was made in this case after just a brief hearing today, and this was a trial, by the way, madam, so that just because there wasn't a jury here, it was a hearing, that the court made an appropriate order with regard to custody. My question is, do I believe that you were assaulted back on either the 20th, as you say, or the 22nd of December 2003? First of all, I don't believe you this much, because the fact that you have the absolute vivid, almost perfect recall of a conversation that was meaningless to you actually 3 years ago and would come to court to testify on her behalf today suggests to me that you have a personal axe to grind with regard to the plaintiff. So I don't believe you. Second of all, the statements that Ms. Williams made with regard to the events of her going upstairs after this alleged assault, when she had perfect opportunity to leave the house, wait for the police outside, and then go upstairs, suggests to me that she was in absolutely no fear of Mr. Thomas on either the 22nd or the 20th of December of 2003. I absolutely believe that there was no basis for his arrest, no basis for his being taken into custody. Are you currently paying support for this child? Why not?
I haven't gotten anything from the judge to pay support.
You don't need anything from a judge to pay
She told
support.
me that she was going to send me a paper saying
You don't need anything from a judge to pay support, madam. This is your child. You're supposed to pay child support.
I was taking care of her, Judge Judy.
Well, you're not taking care of her anymore. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He wants some money.
No, it's not about money.
That's all it is. It's a money thing.
Me, my daughter, and my fiance being happy.
It was crazy. I don't have nothing else to say.
That's it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bender versus Fleming. Step forward.
20-year-old Leanna Bender is suing ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Travis Fleming, for the balance on a 94 BMW. Travis claims the car was stolen and burned.
Mr. Fleming, how old are you, sir?
21 years old, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I work at Anchor Blue, ma'am.
What is that?
Clothing store, ma'am.
What did you do before that?
Worked at Pet Boys, ma'am.
Could you be a little slower, please?
Pet Boys.
And before that?
I worked at America's Tire, ma'am.
Before that?
Da Vinci's Pizza.
Had a lot of jobs for somebody who's only 21 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
How long did you live with Mr. Fleming, Miss Bender?
From November through February of 2006.
And at some point, decided to buy a car.
Yes,
and your
ma'am.
arrangement was as follows. This was your car, but since Mr. Fleming also needed to use a car, while it was going to be your car, you were paying for the car. In exchange for Mr. Fleming's use of the car, he was going to maintain the insurance on the car. And then you broke up.
Yes, ma'am.
According to Mr. Fleming, he complied with the terms of your agreement and maintained the insurance on the car. Correct,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fleming? And when you broke up, he took the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, he took the car, despite the fact that this was your car, because he, of necessity, because he had to have an insurable interest in the car, his name had to be on the title. So the understanding was that it was your car. His name was going to be on the title for the sole purpose of his being able to get insurance for the car, which was his responsibility. So far, is that correct, Mr. Fleming?
Yes, ma'am.
And you took the car, and then according to you, someone stole the car, someone you don't know, and they found the car burnt to a crisp on the side of the road somewhere. So far, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Bender, because she's on the loan, you're not, she's responsible to pay off the car loan. So she said you had no right to take the car because you knew it wasn't your car, and so you're responsible for whatever happened to it. So this is my question to you, Mr. Fleming. Would like to see the statement from your insurance company indicating why, if the car was stolen and totaled, and if you maintained insurance on this car, why they have disclaimed on the policy.
I was told by my claim agent...
Don't tell me anything. I want to see a statement from your insurance company that indicates why they disclaimed on this policy.
I do not have one, Your Honor.
Why not, sir?
The only claim I do have is the one that I filed a claim for the vehicle, but the claim that I canceled for the vehicle...
The claim that you canceled?
I had a claim on the vehicle, ma'am, but the reason why I canceled it is they told me that because Miss Bender here was suing me before the car came up missing, that I should cancel it at that point in time, restate it at a later time, just so that if you decide to rule as to something different, it wouldn't contradict anything.
Well, that's very good. Then you deal with your insurance company. Thank you very much. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 3 on the calendar in the matter of Dumas versus Denson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Dumas, the defendant was your former boyfriend.
Yes.
According to your complaints, he came home one evening and he was drunk and he trashed your apartment, destroyed some of your electronics. In addition, you claim that the utilities were in his name, and after you had him evicted from the apartment, he had the utilities turned off, and it cost you several $100s to put the utilities back on. You think he should be responsible for that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dennison says that it was not he who trashed your apartment, but you were so furious you threw a hissy fit when he came home and you trashed your own apartment.
That's incorrect.
And he also says that he's not paying for any utilities because he wasn't there. Right?
Right.
When did this happen, Ms. Dumas?
Approximately the morning of January 4th, 2006, around 4 in the morning.
How long had you been together prior to that?
About a year.
Where were you that evening, sir?
I had went out with her sister's friend to the strip club. And when I came home...
A male friend or a female
Male.
friend?
And when I came home...
Did she know you were going to a strip club?
No.
No.
But I told her when I came back.
Where did you tell her you were going?
I ain't tell her.
Nowhere.
I ain't tell her. Shh. I ain't tell her I was going anywhere. I felt like I ain't had to tell her.
Well, you were together for a year. You mean you just left?
I just left. I just wanted to leave. I wanted to go have some fun, so I went to go have some fun. I came back, and she was mad, you know.
What time did you get home?
Around 3:30, 3:40.
That's
Cool. I don't want... I'm not talking to you yet. Got him around 3:30. Who drove home?
Her sister's friend.
Did you call him to go out, or did he call you?
No, he came over. He came over. We was all having fun for the night. We was just kicking and having fun.
Who is all?
It was me, her sister, and Dre.
So there were 4 of you, and just the guys decided to go out? Is that
Yeah.
what you're telling me?
Yeah.
No, try yes.
Yes. I asked him, let's go out to the strip club. He said, let's go. So I said, let's go.
Didn't they object when you were going out?
No, they didn't even know we left.
You mean they were in the kitchen doing something, and when you...
No, they was in the back room talking, doing a girl thing, so we left. And when we came back, you know, I told her where we went.
Came back. Tell me exactly what happened, Mr. Denson. You walk in the door 3:30 in the morning. She's waiting up for you.
Yeah, we walk in the door. We walk in the door.
Go back. Back. It's 3:30 in the morning. You walk in. She's waiting up for you.
Yes.
See? Isn't that better?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I get home. She's in the back. She's laying in the bed, so I come back there, you know, I take off my clothes and everything. I get in the bed, you know, and I lay next to her. She say, where you been at? I'm like, I went to the strip club. She said, if you wanted a stripper, I could strip for you, this, that, and the other. So I'm like, I'm not trying to argue with you tonight, you know, and I'm gonna go ahead and go lay down. So about 5-10 minutes later, she come back in the room.
So she left?
Yeah, she left the room. By that time, you know, I'm passed out on my way to sleep. So 5 or 10 minutes later, she come back in the room. She hit me in the head with a pot. The first time she hit me in the head with a pot, I'm thinking I'm dreaming. But the second, but the second time she hit me, I wake up in shock, you know. And you know, I'm like, what is you doing? I'm like, you got a serious problem, you know. So I'm pushing her away from me. You know, she's trying to.
Mr. Denson, just my own curiosity. What kind of pot was it?
Like a steel pot. Just, you know, cook anything.
Did she hit you hard?
Yeah, she hit me hard.
real hard. The first time I thought I was dreaming like I told you before, and the second time she hit me, I woke up in shock. I pushed her away from me. You know, she fighting at me, she trying to fight back.
Lord.
So I pushed her away from me. So she grabbed the rack of dishes, she slammed them on the ground, she slammed all the dishes.
Well, just a second, but you're in the bedroom. Where'd she get dishes from?
I'm pushing her towards the kitchen. This is when we get towards
Just a second, let's go slowly, Mr. Denson. So she hits you on the head with the pot, you jump out of the bed.
While I was pushing her away from me and she was coming towards me, that was in the hallway going towards the kitchen.
Okay.
So she grabbed the dishes, she slammed the dishes down. So
put your hand down.
A couple dishes break. Next thing I know, she throwing glasses, plates, everything. I'm running around, I'm dodging cups, dishes, plates, you know. She cut me on my hand, you know, bleeding. I threw the telephone at her, you know what I mean? So
you threw the telephone at her?
Yeah. So I felt like it was about to get real ugly, so I left. I went to the police station, and about 20 minutes later, they lock and arrest me up. I guess she had called the police, and they said I was the perpetrator, so.
Did anything happen with that arrest?
Yeah, we went through the courts and everything.
And what happened?
I got probation for a year. Now I got to go through all these programs.
Just a second. Were you found guilty?
I pled no contest.
So you pled no contest? Okay, now I want you to tell me your version of what happened on that date, madam.
Me and my sister were in the back. I was putting my 5-month-old daughter to sleep. We were in the back talking. He put them out.
Listen to me. Get to 3:30 in the morning when he comes home.
He didn't come home at 3:30. He came home at about 4 o'clock, 4:30.
All right. Get to 4 o'clock.
He comes in, he's drunk, he's crawling through the door, he could just barely stand up. So he got undressed, he wanted to lay down in the bed and have intercourse. I asked him, where were you at? He said, oh, it's not none of your business where I was at, and I went out, this, that, and the third, and he was drunk and falling all off the bed. I said, okay, well, you can go sleep on the couch because you're not sleeping in my queen-size bed after you just left without telling me anything.
Absolutely right.
So he gets mad, he's laying all on me, touching me and everything. I tell him, don't touch me, get out my room. He says, oh, whatever, oh, really? And, oh, you just acting like that because you're the one cheating. And, you know, usually the accuser is the cheater. So he's telling me, oh, I want to have intercourse. Oh, you don't give me any because you're the one cheating, blah, blah, blah. I tell him, get out the room. He mugs me in the back of my head. He wants to argue. I'm like, don't touch me, don't put your hands on me because I will call the police. He like, oh, yeah, call the police. What they going to do to me? Oh, whatever, for real, for real. So he, you know, he's picking with me, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm about to roll over, go to sleep. Don't touch me again, or it's going to get ugly. And I did say that. He said, okay, so I roll over. He constantly arguing. We arguing for about 15 minutes. I stopped talking. I didn't say anything else. He touches me again, pulls my hair. I'm like, okay. I get up, I slap him. I stand up, I told him, get out my house, leave. We can keep it right here where it's at. Don't touch me again, just leave, and we'll talk in the morning. He pushes me down on the bed. We start fighting, we slap boxing each other, we tossing each other around the room. I get up, I'm like, you know what, I'ma leave. I'ma be the bigger person, I'ma leave.
That's what you should have done. Listen to me. That's what you should have done a half hour ago. Half hour ago. You're trying to deal rationally with somebody that crawled through the door. You're trying to deal rationally with them? What is wrong with you?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Then you got up and you trashed the apartment. You got crazed.
I didn't trash the apartment.
Listen to me. Somebody came and hit me with a frying pan. I would react.
And later today.
Did give her the money, of course, because our daughter's safety was at hand.
Why didn't you move out?
There was a lot of things that were going on that I couldn't just move out.
Victoria Dumas says ex-boyfriend Michael Denson owes for unpaid bills and for tearing up her apartment. Michael claims Victoria hit him in the head with a metal pot.
So then you decide to leave the bed. So you left the bed. Go ahead.
I go and I'm walking down the hallway. He's following me.
When did you get the pot?
That was almost 40 minutes later. So he completely lied about that.
She 40 minutes
That was
lying.
40 minutes later.
Don't speak.
He follows me down the hall. I'm telling him, stay in there. I'm not trying to fight you. We're not about to fight. Go back in there. Don't touch me again. Just go in there. I'm going to leave and go in the living room. I'll sleep on the couch. He's following me, slapping me upside my head, pulling my hair, dragging me down the hallway, trying to fight. Mind you, while this is going on, my sister and her ex-boyfriend were in the living room talking. They thought we were just arguing until I came in there. I'm like, you know what, forget it, this is the bottom line, I'm calling the police. I pick up the phone right in front of them. Before I can even dial 9, he snatches the cord out the wall, grabs the phone and throws it at my face. I'm telling him, like, you're drunk, you don't know what you're doing, just please leave, please. I'm pleading him, can you just get out? He refuses. He wants to fight. So he's walking around, he picks up my stereo, bashes that on the floor, throws the speakers, picks the phone back up, throws it back at me. I pick it up, throw it back at him. We were just running around the house, and he was flipping over tables, picked up my brand new dining room chairs, busted them up against the wall. This is when I got ready to grab the pot, because he went in the kitchen after he broke 3 dining room chairs. He goes in there and throws the dishes in the sink. China dishes, they fall all out the sink, break on the ground. I grabbed a beer bottle and I threatened him with it. I didn't hit him with it, but I threatened him with it just so he would be intimidated. I asked him, can you please leave, because I don't want to have to hit you with this. So he's like, no, and he mugs me. I'm like, put your hands on me again, I'm going to hit you. He mugs me again, picks me up, and throws me, and I slide up against the coffee
you're making
table.
up some of this as you're going along.
No,
you're making up some of it as you're going along. Let's go. Get to the pot.
It's not the truth.
I go in the kitchen, grab the pot. I told him, hit me again, I'm gonna hit you with this. He slaps me again, I run up on him, I hit him in the head twice with the pan. Then he stood up after he fell to the ground. He hit me twice in my face, slapped me, and then he dragged me by my hair across the floor. We were fighting on the couch. There was glass everywhere, there was glass, beer bottles broken, and it was a mess.
I think you did some of it yourself. What do you think of that?
I didn't, Your Honor.
Yes, you did.
No, I did break a couple of glasses.
Oh, okay. You're telling me that you composed yourself up until that time?
Yes.
Come on. Get over it. I mean,
Verbally,
nobody's
I wasn't.
excusing, listen, Ms. Dumas, nobody's excusing his behavior. He behaved very badly that night. Isn't that right, sir?
I didn't behave bad.
Yes, you did. You behaved badly from the time you left. You walked out of the house without telling the woman that you were living with where you were going. And then coming back at 4 o'clock in the morning drunk, according to you, is behaving badly. You don't think that's behaving badly?
No, I don't think it was behaving badly. I wasn't bothering nobody.
Mr. Denson, I don't get emotionally involved with litigants, but I must tell you, in all fairness, I don't like you. I don't like you because I don't think that you understand that it is not responsible to walk out of a house at 11, 12 o'clock at night and go to a strip club and expect the woman that you're living with and sharing a bed with and sharing a life with to accept that because you want to have a good time. That's being a big baby. How old are you?
She didn't left.
I'm speaking.
I'm 22.
22. Well, you are a big baby.
She didn't left the house and ain't call for a whole night. Thanksgiving, eat.
But he knew where I was.
Shh, just a second. Just a second. That doesn't make her a mature lady, sir. That makes you two immature people playing house. But I'm telling you, in this instance, I don't think that you behaved like a nice person. That doesn't mean she wasn't the one who left the bed and came back with a pot and hit you over the head. I believe she did that. And I believe that then you got up and you trashed the apartment. You got crazed.
I didn't trash the apartment.
Listen to me. I would too. Somebody came and hit me with a frying pan twice on the head.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Twice,
I did not hit
twice
him
on
the bed.
Twice on the head. I would react. So I believe that she put her hands on you first. There's no question in my mind that you put your hands on him first.
He hit me first. I defended myself.
No, you didn't.
You destroyed your whole
No,
apartment.
shh. You hit him
hit me
first.
first.
Listen to me, Ms. Dumas. I listened to your testimony very carefully. You slapped him across the face first. You said he pulled your hair. That's what you testified to. He pulled your hair.
Hard.
And then...
Violently.
Violently. Baloney. Ms. Dumas, just because ladies feel as if boys shouldn't hit girls doesn't mean that the law recognizes a distinction between men and women. And you cannot expect to hit somebody else, even if they behave badly, and not to have a response. You hit him, and not only did you hit him, but you hit him with the only dangerous instrument that I see in this complaint, which was a pot, which you acknowledge that you hit him on the head with 2 times. And I'm absolutely amazed that they did not find that actionable when he went to the police. Absolutely amazed. And what lawyer had him plead no contest to this charge? I don't know where his head was at, but certainly I would have, if I were representing him, have given you a run for your money on that one. So your case is dismissed. If your electronics was destroyed, that's your problem. You got to learn to keep your hands to yourself. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He lied about everything.
She was throwing the dishes at me, you know.
He completely twisted up the story.
She hit me in the head with the pot.
I mean, you reap what you sow, so he'll get his one day.
I'm a good dude, you know. I ain't a bad person.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Guerriero versus Chase. Step forward.
Stephen Guerriero is suing the mother of his daughter, Joanne Chase, for a loan to move. Stephen says Joanne took the money but never moved.
Mr. Guerriero, you and Miss Chase have a 12-year-old daughter together.
That's correct.
The child is currently in your custody
Yes.
and has been so for the last year.
Year and a half.
Year and a half. It is your claim that you made a loan to Miss Chase at a time when she was in need, and you want that money back. The loan was $1,000. Miss Chase acknowledges that you gave her $1,000 about a year and a half ago. You'll give me the exact date, but she said the money was not given as a loan. It was given in order to protect your daughter, who was then living in an unhealthy situation with Miss Chase and her husband. Why did you need money, Miss Chase?
Because I needed to move out of my home that I was living in to get my own apartment with my daughter.
What did you say to him when you called him?
I asked him to loan me $1,000 to move out, to get my own apartment, which he wasn't happy with me living with my husband. So I asked him to loan me the money, and on contingency of us selling our home, I would pay him back.
Well, when did you add this little contingency?
When I asked
Look
him...
at me. Don't look on the floor.
I'm sorry.
And, you know, certain things make sense and certain things don't. So, Ms. Chase, make sure you don't tell me anything that doesn't make sense, because if it doesn't make sense, it's not true.
He knew that I was going to be selling.
Don't tell me what he knew. I just want to hear what was said.
Okay. I asked him to loan me the $1,000 and that I would pay him back as long as I sold my home.
Did she say to you, can you loan me $1,000 until I sell the house?
That's partially correct, Your Honor.
Okay. She said, until I sell the house.
Well, there was a contingency made after I reluctantly gave her the money, and I did give her the money, of course, because our daughter's safety was at hand. The first thing was, if she sold the house, I would give the money in full. If she didn't sell the house, then once she got on her feet and got everything straightened out, she'd make payments, and I was fine with that, even if it was $5 a week.
Sounds reasonable. So, you gave her the $1,000, you moved out.
Correct.
Go ahead.
Well, she didn't move out. That was the issue at hand.
Why didn't you move out?
I did move out.
When?
It wasn't right then, but it was within 6 months I did.
Well, what'd you do with the $1,000 for 6 months?
I used it to move out, but it was just, you know, I had to wait. My children were in school. I had 3 girls.
No, they weren't in school in July. 6 months later, they were in school, but they weren't in school in July.
There was a lot of things that were going on that I couldn't just move out at the current time that he had just given me the money.
What did you do with the money? Is my question, Ms. Chase.
Well, I did use it to move out, but it wasn't right
You mean
that
you held on
month
to
in
it
July.
and put it in a bank account and held on to it for 6 months?
No, I didn't put it in a bank account.
So what'd you do with the money?
I guess I saved it at the house.
So, why don't you pay him back?
Because I didn't sell my house.
And what are you doing now?
I live by myself and I work.
Good. Pay him back.
I don't have it. I'm not in any financial position to pay him back.
When he was paying child support to you, how much was he paying you?
I don't even remember.
He does.
It was $52 a week, Your Honor. And I'm receiving $11.50 a week from Miss Chase, which she's a little bit behind.
When he was paying you $52 a week, did you think that that was enough to help support your daughter?
No.
I thought that that was nothing. $11.50 is even less.
Correct, but he should get a job. I mean, you know, he doesn't work.
He's not living on your $11.50 a week.
Well, then he should get a job.
Well, he's living somehow.
Yeah, on Social Security.
That's not your problem. That's the government's problem if they're giving him Social Security.
Right, but I mean, I work and I also, you know, struggle myself to get child support from my daughter's father.
What does that have to do with the $1,000 you borrowed from him?
I don't know. You know, it's just hard because I do waitress and I have to, you know, work or else I can't pay my bills.
Right. You also have to pay back money that he loaned you. I have no idea what you did with the $1,000, but you certainly didn't use it to move out. I don't believe that you saved it, and I don't believe that you hid it in some cookie jar or some coffee can in your house until you were ready to use it.
No, I didn't, you know, but I did use it, you know, towards moving out when I did move out.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't have to get into any more of this sad tale. Suffice it to say, you owe him $1,000. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 76 on the calendar in the matter of Phelps versus Sanborn. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat. You're welcome.
Ms. Phelps, the defendant is your sister.
Yes.
According to your complaint, you were trying to help her get on her feet. You agreed to add her to your joint bank account so that she could develop a certain credit history. According to you, you did not use that bank account, and there came a time when you said to her, listen, I want you to close out the account. I don't want you to use it anymore. And it is your claim that she overdrew that account and you had fees and penalties in excess of $1,600. Ms. Sanborn says that you have some nerve suing her because you were the one who took the money out of the account. That's your defense?
Yeah, that's right, Your Honor.
Okay. Why was your sister helping you get on your feet?
Because I had gone through some rough times and she was helping me out.
Rough times working, rough times keeping a home.
I just had went through some financial difficulties and...
Okay, financial difficulties. Had you been working when she opened this account?
Yes, I had.
How long had you been working?
Since June of that year, 2005.
And when was the account open?
You know what, I am not...
When was the account open?
November 2005.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding you putting her name on the account.
Well, I actually opened a separate account. I didn't add her onto my joint account with my husband, but I had actually, per her request, taken over her finances because she felt that she'd be able to save money better that way. And she had an allowance, and she was paying us rent.
She was living with you?
She was living with us. We took her in because she had some financial problems, and she ended up losing her car, her job, and her home. So we really felt like, here's somebody who's a single mom, down on her luck. People have helped us out before, we'll definitely help her out. And my husband did it more for me. Her behaviors were something that weren't to be desired, but several months later I opened the account. Initially I was paying her bills for her out of the account. The whole purpose of it was to open it, put her on it, and then take myself off. I didn't know at the time you can't just do that you have to close out the account. So the agreement was always that I would at some point be disconnected from this account. And I never used it for personal uses, it was all her use. So
you never deposited any money into that account?
No, I did not ever deposit money into that account.
Or withdrew any money from that account?
No, not for purposes other than to pay things that she owed. Meaning I was taking care of her bills for her. So yes, did I write checks? Initially, yes. But there came a time when she moved out in February of 2006, and she took total control of the account. And the agreement was when she moved out, she would close the account.
Where did you move to?
I moved to Santa Maria.
Where were you working?
I was working for a graphic design company at the time.
You have a child?
I have 2 children, 7 and 6.
Do they live with you?
Actually, they're living with my dad right now because we had enrolled them in school in Visalia, and I didn't want to disturb their
They're living
life.
with your father,
Yeah.
with their paternal grandfather?
Yes.
How long have they been living with him?
Since May of last year.
Prior to that, were they always living with you?
Yes.
Okay. And when did the account become overdrawn?
I would say in the beginning of April.
It was actually March 29th is the exact day it started becoming overdrawn.
Okay.
So she moved out in February. The agreement was that she would close the account.
And she didn't close the account?
She didn't. She called me actually and told me she did, though. She had asked me, you know, I did my taxes. They're going to be deposited in there. Can you just wait until the taxes get deposited? And I said, you know, okay.
How much were your taxes?
Over $6,000.
And were they direct deposit into your account?
Yes, they were, Your Honor.
You have that statement?
Yes.
I'd like to see it. When were they deposited into the account?
You know what? I'm not exactly sure what date.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
They weren't $6,000. It was $5,174.05.
And then there was another deposit, Your Honor, prior to
$305.
Okay, so $5,400. I'm sorry. Can I say something, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
I had opened up an account on the 1st of April. And when I opened up the account, they said that if I signed a paper, it was a waiver stating that they would take the money out of the one account and transfer it over to my new account.
So?
So I assumed that the account was closed at that time.
Listen, I want you to take a look at all of these charges, madam.
I haven't seen that.
Well, take a look.
Thank you. Okay, this is prior to me opening up my new account.
I don't care whether it's prior to you opening up your new account or not.
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with your sister? You're telling me that you were inept financially and you thought that something was going to happen that didn't happen. What does that have to do with the fact that you overdrew this account?
It has everything to do with the fact because she had told me that she wanted me to close the account. I did that.
But you continued to write checks on it when you didn't have any money in the account.
I thought that there was money in the account.
Well, but you thought wrong. You thought wrong. So instead of saying my sister stole the money out of the account and that's why it's overdrawn, say, what's your first name?
Bernadette.
Say, I'm sorry, Bernadette. You were very, very nice to me. You know, I'm very bad with finances and I'll make up the shortfall for you. You don't say she took the money out of the account. You say, show me what I did.
And I did say that, and I never seen this paper before.
Now you see it.
And then her husband comes to my work and calls me up, and he sits there and he says, oh, you know, if you don't pay this money, you know, I'm gonna, you know, go to your work. And so I called the police. I said, you know, he's harassing me because he has nothing to do with this whole issue. It was between me and my sister. He had nothing to do with any of it.
I want to tell you something. Your conduct is outrageous. You are outrageous. Your sister was nice to you. She helped you. You moved into her house. You said to me, I was down on my luck, lost my job, lost my car, lost my kids. I needed some place to go. You did lose your children. If your children don't sleep in your house with you, then you've lost your children. If they're with your father and they're not with you, then you've lost your children. May not be permanently, but you've lost your children.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know, you better get somebody else to continue to help you with your finances. Or I'm going to give you a copy of a book that I wrote a long time ago.
And later today,
Very infrequently in my career have I had to make a judgment for somebody that really stuck in my throat. This judgment really sticks in my throat.
Bernadette Phelps claims her sister, Valerie Sanborn, caused her bank account to go into overdraft.
Okay, so you were down on your luck, and your sister and her husband, because they're a team, were very nice to you. And in return, you accused them of stealing.
Well, I assumed that if the money wasn't in there, that it was taken out.
By you?
No, because when I opened this account,
You withdrew money and you wrote checks on this account.
Prior to this account being open.
Oh, give it to me. You know, you better get somebody else to continue to help you with your finances. Or I'm going to give you a copy of a book that I wrote a long time ago. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad it's over.
I'm happy, and I also hope that my sister can do better for herself.
Our relationship has been messed up because of this.
I really, really hope that she can get on her feet, and then in time we can all be a family again.
It's upsetting. It's very upsetting.
I do love her, and I'm sorry that she can't be in my life.
I just want to get over it and move on.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Baker versus Harding. Step forward, please.
Ann Baker is suing her son's ex-girlfriend, 23-year-old Cassie Harding, for the cost to get her out of jail. Cassie claims Ann took it upon herself to post bail.
Miss Baker, the defendant is your son's ex-girlfriend.
Correct.
And you claim she owes you some money for bail that you put up for her at her request. Ms. Harding says that the bail that you put up for her was very nice of you, but she never asked you for it and she never promised to repay you. She was with your son at the time of her arrest in October of 2004. Where is your son now?
He is currently incarcerated.
For what?
90 days for possession.
So he's had a long-standing drug problem.
This is on an old case about the same time that he was arrested with her.
Well, if he's doing 90 days now, it's because he either didn't pay a fine, he didn't do restitution, he was arrested on a
it
warrant.
was put off for a while because his lawyer changed.
Ms. Baker, you don't go to jail because you change your lawyer.
He pled guilty.
There you go. Now, when were you arrested, Miss Harding?
It was October 2004.
Have you already finished with that case?
Yes, I finished with it almost a year ago.
Did you plead guilty in that case?
I did.
What were the legal consequences?
I believe I had 9 months in jail.
So you had several cases?
Yes.
All drug-related?
Yes.
When were you released from prison?
May 12th, 2005.
Have you been arrested since?
No, ma'am. I've been clean for 19 months.
Great. You working?
I am.
Have anything to do with our son?
I have not talked to him for about 19 months.
Sound great. Who do you live with?
I live with my dad.
How old are you?
I'm 23. I have 2 kids.
Well, so far that's a good story. Let's hope it stays in the same course.
Yes, everything is going very well.
You were arrested with Miss Baker's son, I gather from the papers, while you were in a car, and it was for drug possession.
What happened was I was pulled over for my license plate not being illuminated. I was driving on a suspended license. It was my mother's vehicle. They asked to search the vehicle. I told them that it wasn't mine. They couldn't search it. They bring in a dog. They had the dog walk around the vehicle. The dog scratched at Luke's door. They pulled him out of the vehicle, searched him, found his paraphernalia, and then went ahead and searched the rest of the vehicle.
And you were arrested subsequently after a search, is that right?
Yes, I was arrested for driving on a suspended license and taken down to the police station and strip searched. And that's when they found the drugs on me, so.
Did you call Miss Baker?
No, I did not.
Who called you, Miss Baker?
My son got out of jail right away. And then she called him and talked to him several times, and then he talked to me about it. And then she talked to me on the phone also.
When did she talk to you?
It was about October 9th.
Was she still in jail on October
Yes, ma'am.
9th? Well, tell me your version of that conversation, Miss Baker.
Well, she said that she wanted to get out because she knew that she was going to go to jail later on another charge. She wanted to spend some time with her children. If I would help her get out, that she would pay me back.
You remember any part of that conversation?
No, that conversation never happened. I speak with my mother, and my kids' dad was the only parties that I talked to.
No, you called my son several times.
I'm not talking about your son. I don't care about her conversations with your son. I believe she called your son. Not so sure if I believe she talked to you, but I believe she talked to your son.
Okay.
You were, in fact, released from jail.
Mm-hmm.
Who bailed you out?
A bunch of people. My mother gave $500. My kids' dad put up a car title. Jessica put up a car title, and then Miss Baker put up a lien on her house.
Well, that's a big thing, that she put up her house for bail, right?
Yeah.
How long were you out of jail before you negotiated a plea and went to prison?
I was out of jail for exactly 1 week, and I got arrested for new charges. Was in jail probably about a week long, then got bailed out again.
Who bailed you out the second time?
My mother. And then a week later, got arrested again on new charges, and then did the 9 months. And I do have all my cases right here.
Where's your mother?
My mother lives in Utah, in American Fork. She's still using, I don't talk to her.
Listen, this is what happened to Miss Baker. Because she put up her house as collateral for your bail, there was a problem when she went to sell her house. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
And she couldn't sell her house because there was going to be a lien on it from the bail, from a time that you were not doing well. Tell me why you believe that she should be responsible for your bail.
Because in the same aspect, she wasn't doing well either. I was supporting her drug habit. It was, all in all, very twisted. I was more or less selling drugs out of her home.
You mean Miss Baker was using drugs as well?
Yes, she is.
What kind of drugs was she using?
Meth.
You were living with her son?
No, I was not. Her son was selling for me as well.
Selling for you?
Yeah.
Did Miss Baker in any way profit from your sale of drugs?
It was pretty much I sold drugs out of her house so I wouldn't have to mind. I would give her drugs so that I could sell drugs out of her house.
So there was no cash exchanged?
No.
Just merchandise?
Yes.
Ms. Baker, I'm not going to ask you that question now. You don't have an attorney present, and I won't get involved with that. But I'm going to tell you that Miss Harding has been truthful with me so far about everything else that she's told me, about her arrests, about her drug use, about her sale. So, Ms. Baker, I'm not going to ask you those questions. But so far, I'm not real satisfied that there was an agreement between the two of you for her to pay you back. I think you did have conversations with your son, but I told you before I had serious reservations as to whether you had conversations with Miss Harding. And from a moral perspective, if there is any truth to her statement that she was selling drugs out of your house with your knowledge and was compensating you with drugs for your own use or for anybody else's use, you're going to have to eat the $1,700.
Can I bring my witness forward?
Who's your witness?
This is Danielle Miller. She's a friend of mine and my son's friend also.
You're Danielle Miller?
Ward.
Excuse me, Ward. Married.
How do you know Miss Baker?
She's been a longtime friend. She's more like my mother. I'm not really friends with her son anymore, and she and I have just built a relationship.
How long were you friendly with her son?
Maybe like 6 months.
Do you know Miss Ward?
Yes, I do.
Ever involved with drugs with Miss Ward?
I was with her.
With her?
Yes.
In what way?
I used to buy drugs from him.
Yes, ma'am, that's true. That's totally true. He also did his time, spent quite a while in jail, and is out, and he's doing just as well as she is, if not better.
Good. Wonderful. I'm really pleased to hear that. The issue that is before me
Yes, ma'am.
is whether or not there was a contract between these two people for Miss Harding to pay Miss Baker back the bail before she was bailed out.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have information with regard to that?
Right.
Now I'll hear you.
Okay, she and I were preparing to take our GED test together. I recognized her. I hadn't seen her for a long time, so I approached her.
When was this?
January 25th, 2006.
Okay.
And I approached her and I asked her if she was who she was. I wasn't quite sure, and she said yes. And we started talking. The only people we have in common are the Baker family. And we were talking, and she said, yes, I heard that Ann put her house up for me to get out of jail. I was planning on paying her back as soon as I got some money.
That's nice. That doesn't make a contract. Thank you. It would have been nice if you paid her back, but I have to find that there was a pre-existing contract. A contract that existed from October of 2004 at the time she was bailed out. I did not believe Miss Baker before I knew all of this stuff about the drugs. When she said to me that she had a conversation with Miss Harding, I believe her conversations were through her son. I believe her son said, let's do everything we can to get her out. I believe that there was business going on in your house, Miss Baker. That's my sense. Business being conducted by perhaps Miss Ward's husband, certainly by Miss Harding, who acknowledges that, and probably with your son. So there was ample reason for wanting to bail Miss Harding out. And in order for me to find that she is responsible for her bail, I have to find a pre-existing contract. Yes?
I have a letter here that she wrote me from jail stating as such.
Well, let me see it.
There's the highlighted part on the second page.
Show this to the defendant, please. Did you write that?
Yeah, I did.
Well, it's clear to me that letter says that I will get him paid like I promised. Is that right, Miss Harding?
Yeah, it does.
Anything you want to tell me?
I never promised Ann that I would pay it back.
Well, this is dated December of 2004, and this is an acknowledgement of that debt. But I will get him paid like I promised. That's what you wrote. Miss Baker, very infrequently in my career have I had to make a judgment for somebody that really stuck in my throat. I want to tell you something. This judgment really sticks in my throat because I don't think that Miss Harding and your son were the only ones who were involved in this illegal transaction. But you certainly had the evidence. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 147 on the calendar in the matter of Lopez versus Landry. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Miss Lopez, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you in a mall.
Correct.
And you want your medical expenses paid. Miss Landry says that you actually started up with her by throwing a can of soda on her. She says nobody was really injured in this incident, but that clearly you were the aggressor. You know each other from high school, is that correct?
Correct.
And it's my understanding that there was an unfortunate incident where you actually hit Miss Landry in high school.
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
It was probably 4 months before graduation.
Had you been friendly before this incident in high school?
Yeah, I've known her since junior high.
Tell me about the incident in the high school, Miss Landry.
It was like a little party, a little barbecue, and I was giving this guy a ride home, which happened to be like her boyfriend, I guess you can say. And she had came in the house crying hysterically to talk to him, and she was talking to him outside. And I had to go because his cousin was sick. And so I went out, I gave him about 20 minutes to talk, do whatever they had to do. And then I went out there and I told him, you know, we need to go. Are you staying or are you going with me? Because I needed to leave. I needed to get the sick guy home. And she got in my face and she was like, can't you see I'm crying here? Blah, 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 yelling at me. And I was like, I don't care. I just need to go. So he needs to make a decision. Then out of nowhere, she just like hit me.
Okay. And she apologized for that?
No. She did not apologize.
Never
for that.
apologized to you?
No.
Okay, well, I can imagine you were pretty angry at that.
Yeah.
I can imagine you were.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now when was this incident in the mall? On what date?
The May 3rd, 2006.
Tell me your version of the events of that day, Miss Lopez.
Okay, well, I was working at the mall, at the store, and me and my manager decided to go get something to eat, so we ordered food from a restaurant there. I went to go get the food. As I walked in, I noticed that Heather and her friends were just sitting there. And, you know, I just didn't think anything of it. I just sat down and told the waitress that I was here for the pickup. I got my food and I walked back. So as soon as I got there, went on my 10-minute break, came back out. That's when I noticed that Heather and her friends were there.
In the store?
Right, in my store.
How many stores are in the mall? Would you
lot.
say? Miss Landry, how many stores would you say were in the mall?
Maybe like 40, 45.
40 stores. How many girls were you with that day?
I was with 3 of my coworkers.
So there were 4 of you all together?
Yes.
How much after you saw Miss Landry at the food court did you see her in the store?
I think from the time I walked back and I went on my 10-minute break, it's probably like 15.
15 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes to probably like
okay,
get back.
Good. All right. So you came out, you saw Miss Landry there with 3 of her friends, and what happened?
Basically, my assistant, Stacy, she came to me and I was just telling her, hey, do you know who's in here? She's like, no, who? And then like she hadn't noticed. So she looked and then she's like, don't worry about it. She's not going to say anything. You know, I was like, oh, I'm not even worried. I'm just, you know, it's pretty obvious that she came to my store out of all the stores in the mall. So she's like, well, do you feel uncomfortable? And I was like, I'm just here, whatever. I really don't care. She's like, well, how about you just go on a 3-minute break and go get me something to drink. So as I went to go get her soda, and then I started walking back, I noticed that there was Heather and her friends waiting for the elevator. And I could just continued walking to my store, and all of a sudden I see her walking towards me, and I was like, great, what is she gonna tell me? The first thing that came out of her mouth was, seriously, why do you still talk about me? She started saying about high school and how this is my opportunity to do something to her. I've been always talking, saying I want to kick her and all that stuff. And she was just basically giving me an opportunity to do it. And I just told her, you know what, you need to get over it. It's high school. She probably got annoyed because I kept saying, you need to get over it, you need to get over it. I was just repetitive throughout the whole thing.
And then what happened?
And then out of nowhere, she just punches me on my left side.
And then what happened?
So obviously I pushed her away. That's probably when the soda fell on her. I seriously did not want to hit her back. My first reaction was just to push her away or hold her down because I was working. I'm like, what am I supposed to do, really? I don't want to lose my job, and at the time I was getting promoted assistant manager, and I knew I was probably going to lose the opportunity with the regional manager.
That all didn't go through your mind in a second. She punched you, according to you. You pushed her, soda fell on her. What happened next?
Basically, she was just she's probably swung at me as I tried to hold her 3 times. So it's total maybe 4 clean punches on this side.
Did you hit her?
No, I didn't hit her at the time. Throughout, probably towards the 4th time she hit me, I was like, you know, I'm just going to defend myself because nobody's jumping in, nobody's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. What kind of medical treatment did you receive?
It was just basically a checkup. He gave me medicine. I have the hospital bills right here.
I'd like to see the bill. Do you have photographs?
Yes, actually I do.
Okay. Now I'll hear you, Miss Landry.
Okay. That May 3rd, me and 3 of my coworkers were out to lunch at Red Robin, and my back was not facing her. I didn't see her at all. My friend Caitlin had noticed her, and so when she had told me, I turned around and I looked back, but I didn't see her anywhere. So we were still eating, we were chatting a little bit, finished up our meals, we paid, and then my friend Brandy that was with me, she wanted to get some sunglasses, and I had bought some in Anchor Blue. That's the only thing I buy there. So we went up there, we looked around for a second, didn't see anything, and we left. We were walking out towards the elevator, waiting for the elevator to come down, and we're standing there facing the elevator, and they hear my name, and I didn't hear it at first, and I turn around, and I see Maritza calling me. So I start walking towards her, what do you want, And she basically tells me, we still have stuff we need to take care of from high school. We never finished it, blah, blah, blah. And I told her, it's been over a year. I haven't seen you since then. I really don't care to bother with you. I'm over it. I don't need to have nothing to do with you. And we were going back and forth for maybe 30 seconds. I don't know where she throws her soda literally on my face. I was drenched in Sprite or some sticky Sierra Mist or something. And I couldn't really see at first. And my first reaction was just to push her away from me. And then we started going at it. I'm pretty sure I had the first hit, actual hit, and we were going at it for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then it was over with, in a matter of seconds. It was no big, fight.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you buy anything in her store?
No, I didn't.
How long were you in her store?
About 10 minutes.
That all doesn't make sense, Miss Landry.
And later today,
he was told not to go on the computer. He turned around and went into the adult sites. That's why we didn't want him to do it. Plus the fact that he's done it to 2 other computers for the same reasons.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maritza Lopez claims she was punched in the face by former high school classmate Heather Landry. Heather claims Maritza threw a soda in her face.
Who is this?
This is Maritza. She's one of my coworkers.
Marissa, you have a last name?
Ramos.
You were there on the 3rd of May?
No, not there at that actual fight. I wasn't there.
So how was she relevant?
Because after that altercation, about 2 days before I went to court for that, Maritza had showed up at my job looking for me. She sent a friend in my job asking my manager for me if I was working. He had said, yeah, I was working.
Don't listen to me. What are the names of the 3 co-workers who were with Miss Landry on May 3rd?
Kaylin, Brandy, and...
Kayland?
Yes.
Brandy?
Yes, and Kelly.
How long have they been working at the same store as you?
Brandy's been there for about 3 years.
3 years? She still work there?
Yes.
Good.
Kelly, she doesn't work there no more. She was there for a year. She quit. And Kaylin's been there for about a year.
Still there?
Yes.
Now you can sit. Miss Landry, why would you bring someone who wasn't there on May 3rd and not bring the 2 co-workers who were there on May 3rd and who can support your story?
One of the, Caitlin, she was actually supposed to come, but she got food poisoning this morning. She was really sick before we came over here, so I brought Maritza Ramos because after the...
What about the other co-worker?
Brandy's still there.
So why didn't Brandy come?
Because she couldn't get the day off of work.
That's a lot of excuses. Okay. Some things make sense and some things don't make sense. What doesn't make sense is why Miss Lopez, who is working at the precise time that this happens, would start up with you when you had 3 women with you. She might start up with you if she had 3 women with her or 2 women with her. But I don't get the sense that she would start up with you, Miss Landry, when you are a group of 4 and she is 1 person. Because that's stupid. That's number 1. Number 2, the mall has 40 stores. Here, after you had lunch, you and your 3 friends, within 15 minutes, ended up in a store where she works.
It was not within 15 minutes.
Half hour. I mean, how much time do you have for lunch? 4 hours? Only I get 4 hours for lunch.
We weren't on our lunch break. We were just out to lunch.
I see. So you were just out to lunch and had the whole afternoon. Did you buy anything in her store?
No, I didn't.
Did anybody buy anything in her store?
Not that I know of, no.
How long were you in her store?
About 10 minutes.
That all doesn't make sense, Miss Landry. What makes sense to me is that you slugged her, you got even for the slug in high school, and you're going to pay her medical bills. That makes sense to me. She's not charging you for pain and suffering. She's not charging you for anything else. She wants her medical bills paid. You figured you got even. You're getting even cost you $526. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They wrote me a ticket for battery, like misdemeanor battery.
I basically hit her back by throwing her a soda.
I went to court. The court was dropped. End of story, you know?
Ever since high school, she continued egging my car. Really immature.
I mean, it's high school. Can she get over it?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Mahoney Bradbury versus Bradbury. Step forward, please.
Michael Mahoney and fiancée Deborah Bradbury are suing Deborah's son, 22-year-old Justin Bradbury, for unpaid rent and for infecting their computer with a virus.
Miss Bradbury, how many children do you have?
3.
2 boys and a girl?
3 boys.
3 boys. You kept trying, right?
Yes.
And is he the oldest?
Yes.
How old are you?
22.
And this is your fiancé?
Yes, it is.
How long has he been your fiancé?
About 10 years.
What's the holdup?
There is no holdup. It's just we haven't decided yet, that's all. I mean, it's not that we haven't decided. It's, I don't know what the holdup is, to be honest with you.
You had enough of an idea that you were committed to each other to have a child together?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a production assistant. It deals with safe protective equipment.
And how long have you been doing that?
10 years.
And what do you do for a living?
Same thing. The same company. I've been there 7 years.
Were you married to the father of your 2 older boys?
Yes.
The reason I'm asking you all these questions is, this is what your lawsuit is about. This is your oldest son. He's 22 years old. And you're suing him for 2 weeks' rent when he lived in the house. And you claim that he's the cause of your broken computer, that he was playing around with some stuff on the computer and it attracted a virus. And as a result of that, your computer crashed. So you want him to pay to fix the computer. And quite frankly, I don't know what he's done in the past. Have you been incarcerated?
No.
Have you robbed anybody?
No.
Are you a drug addict?
Nope.
Are you an alcoholic?
No.
Doesn't sound like a terrible person. Maybe irresponsible, maybe very irresponsible. But if all my kids owed me was 2 weeks' rent, I would throw a big party. I wouldn't sue them. Do you understand, Mr. Mahoney?
If it was just the 2 weeks rent, then I would say yes. Or if it was just the computer, then I would say yes. But Justin has been incarcerated before. Tell you the truth, when we decided to let him move into the house, he was just getting out of jail for living on a park bench because everybody had kicked him out of their houses.
Okay, so he was in jail because he was a vagrant.
Trespassing, right.
Trespassing on a park bench. Anything else?
He's been, from what I understand, he just turned around and he brought him into court again for not paying another bill that he owed.
Listen to me. Talking about irresponsible behavior by a 20, 21, 22-year-old kid. You have any other children?
Yes, I do. I have 3 other children.
Did your former wife take you to court for support?
No, because I had always paid support.
You never went to court with her?
No.
Never?
Never.
Interesting. You're one of the few people in the country.
I'm probably one of the better fathers in the country, too, ma'am.
Good. And all your children are productive and work?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Do you owe them for 2 weeks' rent?
I don't think I do at all.
Well, you say you don't because you say your mother said, forget about the rent when he kicked you out.
Yes.
Use it to find a place to live. Did you tell him that?
No, that's not true. No, he said he would give me the last 2 weeks of rent once he got his taxes back. When he got his taxes back, which got mailed to my house, I told him it was there, and I asked him if he was going to give me my money, our money, and he said, yeah, I'm going to go to the bank and I'll come back with it. And he never came back with it. And then I had called him, and he said, well, I had to give it to my landlord so I could get into the apartment.
Well, that sounds right, right?
Well,
that he had to give it to a landlord to get into an apartment. Now, be very careful. So far, I haven't hurt you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't want me to hurt you.
No.
Does that conversation that your mother just relayed to me, does that sound familiar to you?
No, that was never said. If it was said, I would have remembered it, and I never told her I would pay her the money out of my taxes.
Did the tax return come to your mother's house?
Yep, all my mail was going there before I had the change of address to my new apartment.
And how much rent are you paying in the new apartment?
It was $4.95 a month.
What do you mean it was? Are you still there?
No, I had moved out of there.
To where?
My current address in Southbridge, Mass.
Who are you living with?
My cousin Kristen.
What happened to the $4.95 apartment?
That.
Look at me.
It was, I had gotten laid off from a job, so I couldn't afford to have that apartment anymore, and then I moved in with my cousin, and I had...
Now, what proof do you have that he damaged your computer?
This is a computer that we had talked to him about before he had moved into the house, and we had certain rules that had to come across before he did, because Justin has a problem with...
Mr. Mahoney.
Yep.
I'm not interested in that, sir. I asked you a simple question. I said, what proof do you have that he broke your computer?
The only proof we have is ourselves and the fact that he admitted that he put the virus in it.
He put a virus in it?
Well,
No. I don't believe that, sir.
He was told not to go on a computer. He went on a computer. He turned around, he went into the adult sites, which unfortunately developed a computer. And the computer was for my 7-year-old son. And that's what it was explained to him, that it was for my 7-year-old son. That's why we didn't want him to do it. Plus the fact that he's done it to 2 other computers for the same reasons.
Listen, you don't have a case against your son. Quite frankly, Miss Bradbury, I'm surprised you're here. I am surprised you're here.
I have something to say.
Go ahead, Miss Bradbury.
He was living at his father's house, got kicked out of his father's house, and like Michael had mentioned, he was sleeping on park benches. He was in jail, he had called me, and I told him, I will talk it over with Michael, see if you can come stay with us so we can help you get your life straightened out. So we had talked to Justin about it, and we had put the rules down, $100 a week for rent, no drugs in the house, no booze, anything.
Get to the bottom line. Don't speak, sir. You are not related to him. His mother works. She works the same place you do. She contributes to the household. You don't speak for her.
Oh, I wasn't speaking for her to begin with.
Don't speak for her. She was speaking for herself.
Okay.
She can speak for herself. You know, from somebody who can't make up his mind 10 years later whether or not he wants to marry the mother of his child, as far as I'm concerned. That's not acting totally responsibly.
No,
so I want you to zip it, because she was speaking.
We took him in and we gave him a home, a roof over his head, food, and we got him a job. He ended up getting his license back while he was living there, and then we got him an apartment. And just for him not to give us that 2 weeks rent or to pay for the computer that he broke, you know, and just things he was doing in the house, rummaging through my stuff, and I mean, I'm done.
What I'm telling you is, nothing sounds so terrible. It sounds irresponsible, but he's 22. And he was 21 when he came to live with you, when you allowed him to come back into your home and gave him a roof over his head and helped him get back on his feet. That's what parents are supposed to do. You don't get any medals for that. You have children. That's what you're supposed to do. And as long as they're not robbers and murderers and drug addicts and alcoholics, that's what you're supposed to do for them. You're supposed to continue to give them another chance. Now, you should understand that. You're his mother. He doesn't have to understand that. He's not his father. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 107 on the calendar in the matter of Salatino versus Solis.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Everybody have a seat.
Mr. Salatino, you and the defendant are neighbors. It is your complaint that while initially you and the defendant and your husbands enjoyed a friendly social relationship, things between the two of you deteriorated. Your claim is that at some point, Ms. Solis maliciously ordered dozens of magazines in your name, and you started to receive all of these subscriptions and other things to your house. And you want Ms. Solis to compensate you for the harassment,
Yes.
and your out-of-pocket expenses as far as lost wages, lost work, etc. Ms. Solis says that that's ridiculous. She would never do such a thing. She doesn't know why you would think that she would do such a thing, and that's a question that I have. Ms. Salatino, why would your neighbor, who is not a kid, I mean, this is a kid prank, do such a thing that is really so juvenile?
Back in 1999, we had a problem with my mailbox, with my outgoing mail. And I do have a tape right here that shows her messing with my mailbox.
All right, that's 1999. We're talking about
Well,
7 years ago. Can we have something more current, please?
We went on a cruise. My husband and I went on a cruise this year of 2006, celebrated our 30th anniversary. We invited them to go. They couldn't go. I think she was mad that we still went ahead with our plans. When we came back from the cruise, that's when all of this started.
So you think that because you went ahead with your anniversary cruise, she retaliated and started ordering these magazines?
Yes.
Did you have any words about it?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to get back. Ms. Salatino, what proof do you have for me that Ms. Solis, your neighbor, was responsible for you receiving these dozens of magazines?
I have copies of the postcards, insert cards, that I spent hours contacting the magazines, and they sent me copies of it. And I have a copy of her handwriting.
All right, let me see them, please. Okay. Would you show this to defendant and ask her, please, if this is her handwriting?
Yes, it is.
Would you hand this to the defendant, please? And your pen. I want you to write this down. Emily Salatano, 23 Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45251. Now I want you to skip a line. I want you to write this down, please. Emily Salatano, 23 Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio. Skip a line.
Okay.
Mrs. Emily Salatano, 23 Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio. I'll take that back for whenever she's finished. Who are these two people?
This is my neighbor and my husband.
Okay, that's my understanding from your papers, Ms. Salatano, that this is the proof that you have. You believe that the handwritings in this case prove that the magazines were ordered by the defendant.
Yes.
I'll hear your expert. Is that you?
Yes.
Step up, please. Tell me your name.
My name is Bart Baggett. I'm a court-qualified document examiner.
In what courts have you been qualified?
Superior Court in Los Angeles and in Texas, Dallas Civil Court.
How many times have you testified in courts in the state of California?
Once.
And were you, at that time, qualified as an expert?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Let me show you this document, Mr. Baggett. Was this given to you by the plaintiff as a handwriting exemplar of
Yes, I received
the
a copy of
defendant's?
this, and I labeled it known handwriting 1.
Okay. Now, Mr. Baggett, are you able to say with a reasonable degree of certainty that the order forms and the handwriting exemplar that you were furnished of the defendants were written by the same person.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why.
I have brought some exhibits to explain.
I'd like you to do that for me.
Great. First of all, this is what I consider the known writing that I had to work with. This is some of the subscription cards which are in question. Now, I broke it down. I really brought about 3 very good illustrative examples that I think you could very clearly see that there's some similarities. First of all, I had to ask the question is if someone's trying to obfuscate or change their writing, what would it look like? And the first thing about all these handwriting samples is they're very, very slow and meticulous, which means it's probably not going to match the natural handwriting perfectly.
What about the cards suggest to you that the handwriting was done very slowly?
Excessive ink, very wide pen, as well as lots of very rounded and extra ink spots throughout. If you write very quickly, it's fewer ink spots would build up at the end of the pen. The things that to me were very revealing is things that I found under the microscope. There were certain pen lifts in 3 letters that I want to show the court, which if you were trying to fake somebody's writing, you would probably miss it because it's an unconscious pen lift, and I've analyzed that under a microscope if you'd like to see this.
I would.
Great. First, the top of the H's, and over here we picked the top of the L, which is a very similar letter. They're all upstrokes. This is the red book. Notice there seems to be a huge missing ink in the lower part of the L. Here is an H, and I've taken these and split screened them on the television.
I'd like to see it.
Great. Okay. So here we go. Now, this is kind of an indent or a pen lift here on the question, and this is the no. Notice there's consistent pen lifts. There is split number 2, a different letter, same pen lift. There is pen lift here, extra ink there, very unconscious. There's another letter that we found that was very similar, and this is a little easier for the average eye to see, which is the number 2. And here is the defendant's number 2 here. It's a very square 2. And here is the 2 with the very angles. My experience with forgery cases is that people do a very good job faking their handwriting with alphabet, but then the numbers, they go back to sort of how they normally write. So in Offenkind, the numbers are very, very revealing. Also, we've blown these up here to show the angularity of the writing. So here it is, of a 2, very angular, opposed to the loopy 2, which is what a lot of people do, how we learn in school. And here is a very poor copy of an angular 2. And then finally, the lower loops, which I think is the most revealing, is in the Y. Here we have the subscriptions, and almost all the Y loops have a huge pen lift as you turn from the Y and going north. Big pen lift, big pen lift. So those 3 things, I think, make a case for someone trying to obfuscate the handwriting, but showing up that it is the same person because of these unconscious differences and similarities.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She acknowledges that she was miffed about something and she did a very stupid thing. She shouldn't have done it. It's 7 years ago. You can't be punished forever. We need more than that.
And later today,
my granddaughter has suffered. I want it stopped. It has to stop.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Emily Salatino claims neighbor Linda Solis forged her name on countless magazine subscriptions. Emily has brought handwriting expert Bart Baggett to testify on her behalf.
Well, I am certainly not an expert in the field of handwriting. Certainly, looking at this from an untrained eye, one would not say that these two people were the same.
No, it's very different looking as far as
Very
slant,
different looking.
pressure, etc.
Very different looking, and certainly many of these cards are different looking, as if different people wrote the cards. Some are printed, some are...
I agree with you. However, looking at that, I made the conclusion they all are written by the same person, maybe using their left hand. So I also went down that road. I agree.
Possible. But then you said that people may be able to change their handwriting, but when they come down to writing numbers, they usually go back to the way they usually wrote numbers, right? Which is why you looked at the 2.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at the 4 and the 5 on what she just wrote. Mm-hmm. And all of the cards, they are really totally dissimilar.
I agree. They do not match.
The only one that you found that matched was 2, right?
Of the number, yes, ma'am.
But the 2s certainly don't match this.
And that we haven't analyzed.
Well, this you just wrote very quickly, which is the way I was trained to have someone give a handwriting exemplar. you know, I mean, I was in the business for a while myself. Thank you, sir. Anything else you want to tell me?
No, ma'am.
Have a seat, please. Miss Salatano, what motive would Miss Solis have for doing something like this?
I think she was mad that we went ahead and went on the cruise without them. And the proof from '99 of her messing with my mail shows a pattern.
You have her doing that 7 years ago. According to what you say, there was a misunderstanding. The two families got back together again, ultimately, and it was over. And she acknowledges that she was miffed about something, and she did a very stupid thing. She went over and she put down the flag on your mailbox. It was a childish thing for her to do. She shouldn't have done it. It's 7 years ago. You can't be punished forever. We need more than that. Did you order these magazines?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Do you know who did?
No, I do not.
Why did you stop communicating with her after they went away on their trip? Were you angry?
No, we didn't stop communicating. I have emails where she's emailed me. We've talked, but then when I started talking a lot to one of the other neighbors, she quit talking to me. She hasn't talked to me hardly at all.
So she was angry about a new friend that you had,
Yes,
you think?
ma'am.
Miss Salatano, I am so sorry that you had all this aggravation. Unfortunately, this is a court where I require proof. Mr. Baguette is a lovely expert witness, and although he may be right, I am not comfortable enough to label somebody a felon and guilty of mail fraud on that kind of evidence. So it's too bad that you people who used to be friends are no longer friends. Maybe you can be friends once again, but I'm not satisfied that you've proven your case. The case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brown versus Davis, step forward, please.
Rebecca Brown is suing her granddaughter's mother, Crystal Davis, for an outstanding cell phone bill and for the return of her granddaughter's clothes.
Miss Brown, I gather that your son and Miss Davis had a relationship.
Correct.
And that relationship produced a child, a little girl, and you have legal custody of that child.
Correct.
You claim two things. You claim that when your granddaughter goes to visit with her mother, or had in the past, her mother kept some property of your granddaughter's that you bought for her.
Correct.
And in addition, you say that she owes you some money for a cell phone that you got for her.
Correct.
I gather that that's some of the property that was at your house?
Yes.
Okay, Bert, could we move that property from one table to the next, please? Is that all the property of your daughters that you have at your house?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I assume, Miss Brown, that you believe that there is more stuff there at the house than just this stuff. I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. Where is your son?
My son lives in Virginia.
Well, how often does he see his daughter?
He does not.
Why?
Because he doesn't want to.
Are you in touch with him?
I sent him an email just recently encouraging him to come see his daughter because his daughter made several remarks to me that concerned me as a parent about him. She stated she hates him because he does not love her.
Sounds to me as if you got a lot on your plate.
Yes, I do.
Now, Miss Brown, have you sued your son for child support?
No.
Why not?
Because from the last time I heard he was unemployed, because my intentions were to take him to court.
You should.
And I will, once I find out that he's working.
You don't have to wait until you find out that he's working. I'm going to tell you why. Because in the courts in this country, you are presumed to be able to take care of your children. And when I sat in the family court, I would say to people, I'm making an order. You go out and find yourself a job, and I don't care if you collect cans at a nickel a can. But you are going to support this child, and if you don't, I'm going to put you in jail. So you're going to have a choice. You're going to go to jail, or you're going to get a job. That's it. Now, let me hear about this phone bill. She got you a cell phone.
Yes.
At your request.
Yes.
And you were supposed to pay the bill.
Yes.
Did you pay the bill?
Yes. I paid her what I used for that phone, which was $102.59.
Why did you get her the phone, Miss Brown?
I gave Crystal the phone, Your Honor, because of her daughter. Tyrell is Crystal's daughter, and she wanted to be in touch with her mother. And I said, okay, if I give her this phone, I would be able to track her by that number so her daughter could talk to her. She ran the phone bill up $102 the first time, and the second time she ran the bill up, it was $281.26.
Did she pay the 102?
She finally paid 100. And the second time she came back around the end of January, and she brought $100.
So now she's giving you $200.
She's giving me $200.
Okay.
And I said, you owe me more than $200. You
All right,
will
so far she owes you an extra $181.61.
$181.26.
I'm not disputing the fact that the bill might be another $181.
Fine.
I told her clearly when she gave me the phone that I had started a new job, you know, and the bill was going to be 2 days late.
Are you telling me, Miss Davis, that your payment was 2 days late and then she canceled the phone?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, that's incorrect.
How late was it?
The bill was at that point 60 days late.
That's
Why,
for the
Miss
time.
Miss Davis,
go ahead.
She doesn't look like the kind of lady that has psychotic breakdowns. Why do you think that after a couple of months, she would say, now I'm going to cut off the phone because she's 2 days late? Does that make sense to you? Doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not true.
It's the reality.
No.
Okay,
It isn't.
well.
That may be your reality. I
I'm not
want you to
dis-
get in touch with your reality. When was the last time you saw your daughter?
The last time I saw my daughter was coming from Christmas. I had her for Christmas, and I took her back to her. That was the last time that I seen my daughter.
When was the last time you made an attempt to see your daughter?
The last time I talked to her on the phone was a Sunday afternoon, and she was so upset about the phone bill. It wasn't even nothing really said. I was like, hello, this is Crystal. She was like, I have nothing to say to you until I see you in court, and hung up the phone.
Okay, so we're going to take care of this $181.26, and then I assume that you're going to go and see your daughter.
I would hope that I can see my daughter, which one has absolutely nothing to do with the other. I shouldn't have been held from seeing my daughter.
You're absolutely right, because that punishes your daughter. Do you have other children other than your son?
I have 2 sons.
2 sons. And where is the other son?
My other son is out on his own. He's 24 years old. When they get a certain age, they have to leave my house. They have to become responsible.
Good. No failure to launch in your house.
No. No.
Assume that you didn't sign on to become a parent all over again.
No, Your Honor, my concern here is I came from a very close-knit family, and I want to see this for Crystal and her daughter. But the greater concern that I have is my granddaughter has suffered. I want it stopped. It has to stop.
Miss Brown, if what you're telling me is that you are devastated because your son and his former girlfriend have acted like 2 irresponsible people with regard to a child that they made, I get it. All I can wish you is good health and long life, because it doesn't look to me as if this child is going to be able to look anywhere but to you for the stability that she needs.
Correct.
Because if Miss Davis says to me, I knew that the only thing standing in between my seeing my daughter and not seeing my daughter was $181, then she should have been out doing whatever was necessary to get that $181 to clear off any problem. I don't care if you go out and sell your blood every day. I would have sold the bling on my hands. Anything that was necessary. You get me? Stop tapping. Lots of grandparents are taking care of their grandchildren. They didn't sign on for it. She's very lucky she has you. You sound like a very together lady. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $181.26. That's all.
Parties are step out. Now, this is case number 135 on the calendar in the matter of Camp versus David.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Camp, who is this person?
He is my witness, my coworker, also her coworker.
According to what I read in your complaint, you had an apartment that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
shared with your boyfriend.
Mhm.
Your boyfriend went to jail.
Yes.
And you couldn't take care of the rent yourself. You had a conversation with Miss David and asked her if she would like to take over your lease.
Yes.
She said, for whatever reason, okay, she was looking for a place. She moved into your apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your complaint, she moved out, not giving you any notice, and you believe she should pay for that month's rent because
Yes,
you couldn't
ma'am.
sublet the apartment. And in addition, that she caused some damage to the apartment so that you lost your security deposit.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. David says that she paid you rent each and every month that she was there, and that it was not she who caused the damage to the apartment, but it was probably your boyfriend when he had a temper tantrum. Okay. You know each other from work.
Yes, ma'am.
When was your boyfriend incarcerated?
End of February.
When did you and Miss David have this conversation about subletting your apartment?
On March 1st, I called her because I knew that she was looking for an apartment. And on March 2nd, her and her boyfriend came over, looked at the apartment, and moved in that same day. and she paid the rent for March.
So far, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a written agreement with her?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Okay, so it's a pretty straightforward agreement. Agreement says that she pays rent for the months that she's there, $700 a month, and that she agrees to pay the utilities from that time forward. And there's no issue of utilities because that's not part of your complaint. So you paid March.
In April.
Just you paid March,
Yes, ma'am.
$700. Did
Of
you
course.
pay April?
Oh, yes, ma'am, of course.
Did she pay April?
Yes.
$700 in April. And when did you move out?
I moved out May the 2nd.
Is that correct?
She's lying.
When did she move out?
She moved out June 1st.
She says she moved out May 2nd. What proof do you have that you moved out May 2nd?
I wasn't there. And I have also this from the apartment people. My rent was, I paid in April, ma'am.
Just a second.
Yeah.
The month that we're questioning is May.
Yes.
Tell me your name.
Brian Murphy.
Mr. Murphy, you seem hell-bent on telling me your story, sir. You work with these two ladies?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you know about when Miss David vacated the apartment?
Well, Your Honor, I know that on May the 28th, around the end of the month of May, that me and Wanda went to the apartment to retrieve her things.
Wanda is
me.
You.
Ms. Kent.
Because I knew that we were getting evicted because she didn't pay for May.
Just a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And it was apparent that Miss David, her belongings and everything was still at the apartment.
On May 28th?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of belongings were still in the apartment on May 28th?
There was a rundown couch. There was food still in the refrigerator. There were her clothes. I mean, it wasn't like, there was nobody living there. Somebody was living there.
She gave me the couch, her rundown couch.
Just a second, just 1 second.
Girl.
Listen to me.
I don't mean to start down.
Listen to me, Mr.
I'm
V.
sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. They
You're
are
not-
harassing me.
Shh, just a second.
I think something's wrong with her.
Just a second.
That's crazy.
But I'm the one with the eyebrows.
1, 2, 3, and you're out of here. Do you understand? I'm asking you questions,
Sorry.
madam.
Sorry.
Did you have clothes in the apartment on May 28th?
No, ma'am.
Fine. Where did you move on May 2nd?
To an undisclosed area because you're harassing and stalking me.
We're going to do 1,
Okay,
2,
I'm
3, and then
sorry.
you're out of
You
here.
don't have to do it no more. You don't have to do it anymore, ma'am.
I want to see a lease on an apartment that starts May 2nd.
I live with my mother. I can't, but my mother doesn't give me a lease.
The reason why she moved in
I
with
know.
me, I'm sorry.
Just a
Yeah,
second.
what?
Just a second. When did you move in with your mother?
I moved in after I moved. Look, I moved in May the 2nd, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Fine. Your mother's name?
Come on now. You don't need to. I live with Brenda David. I don't need to know. I'm not going to talk about my mother on TV. I don't even like her.
I don't believe you.
Oh, well.
I don't believe you.
That's fine, ma'am.
Good. Okay. Now, let's talk about the damage to the apartment.
Okay. Me and him went to the apartment May 28th. Her stuff was still there. The door frames for the front door was broken, like somebody just kicked it in. And when I called her, when I was in the apartment, I said, Brenda, I'm coming here to get my stuff because we're getting evicted. She said, don't do anything with my stuff. I'm going to have my stuff out by June 1st. And I said, I'm not doing anything with your stuff. I'm just taking my stuff out of here before it's on the streets. So the door in the front door was broken. The blinds were broken, stains in the carpet. The master bedroom door was also broken, like she locked herself out.
Do you have photographs of the apartment?
No, I don't have photographs, but I have a list of the damages that the apartment...
Do you have a letter from the landlord?
Yes,
I'd
that
like to see
they
it,
sent me
please.
what I owe them for the damages.
Miss Judge Judy?
I'll be with you in a minute.
All right, good.
What furniture, Miss David, did you leave in the apartment when you moved out?
Her furniture that she gave me.
Okay, so she gave you furniture.
She let me use
just
furniture.
No, just a sec. Well, first you say she gave you furniture.
Gave me, loaned me, whatever. I wouldn't take her furniture.
No, just a second. Did she give you the furniture or did she loan you the
She
furniture?
loaned me the furniture.
What efforts did you make to get the furniture back to her?
I left it in the apartment. It's her apartment. Note, Miss Judy, when the lease agreement began, it was not just I moved in and the apartment was brand new. I moved in later in the lease. Look at, yes, please, put your glasses on, look at the dates. This young woman, I moved into the apartment months after her drug-dealing boyfriend.
Her abusive, black-eyed given boyfriend.
So listen to me.
Okay.
This is not
my turn.
This is
All right.
not a discussion between the two of you.
I apologize.
This
I'm
is not
real
a discussion between the two of you. But no. Miss David, listen to me.
Yes,
I'm a
ma'am.
very good judge of...
Okay, I know I've watched your show 1,000 times.
You're not showing off your best side, madam.
Ma'am, I'm
do you
gonna
understand?
this is not the best time
do
on
you,
my side.
Do
Look
you
what's beside me.
understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're
I'm
not
sorry.
showing off your best side. Now, I don't know if you have a good side, but certainly you're not showing
I'm
it
so
off
sorry,
here.
but look what's on my side right now.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you don't believe me, then so be it. The fact is this young woman is harassing me. She came to my job. He was there. They called the cops. She had 2 women. They sat in my car. I'm gonna tell you what, do it again.
And later today,
we ran into financial difficulty, then we ran into more financial difficulty, and we lived with them 19 days, and they had booted us out.
You wouldn't have lived with me 19 minutes.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Wanda Camp says former roommate Brenda David owes for rent and damages to the apartment. Brenda is countersuing, claiming Wanda is stalking her.
Listen to me. I don't believe that you moved out of the apartment and moved your... I'm speaking! I don't believe that you moved out of the apartment on May 2nd.
Okay,
I don't
give it
believe
another
that you
date
moved...
and then
I'm
tell her to leave me
speaking.
alone.
I'm speaking. And I don't believe that even if you left in May, your clothes and other things were gone in May. As long as there's stuff of yours that's in the apartment, you haven't vacated the apartment.
Ma'am, the thing ever left was her things. And if you don't believe me, then so be it. The fact is this young woman is harassing me. She came to my job. He was there. They called the cops. She had 2 women. They sat in my car. I'm going to tell you what, do it again.
Oh, excuse
Judgment
me.
for the
Can I
plaintiff
tell
in the amount of $1,630 and your counterclaim
Thank you.
for
And
harassment is
please,
dismissed.
something's
If
wrong
you,
with
I'm
her.
speaking!
Okay, I'm sorry.
If you pay the money, she will leave you alone. She doesn't want to get stuck with your bills for what you did to the apartment and rent. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. Ma'am. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you
Stay
bet.
right there. Yeah.
I'm just playing. I
I
don't do that
understand.
for real. Come on now, look
Yeah,
at her.
do I look threatened? She's
It was nice meeting you, Miss Shylin. We were lovers. But she needed to get over it. And, now we're doing all of this, and it's just terrible, and I feel really bad about it.
I was living there with me and my baby and my boyfriend.
She knows she still loves me. She just needs to stop. She still loves me. Look at her breasts. Look at my... They love me.
I think you have the wrong girl.
She knows what's going on. That's all that matters.
Oh, no. Something's seriously wrong with her. She needs help.
She caught me with another woman, and she knows it. And it's a total love triangle.
Oh, my God. Crazy. With the capital C.
I still love you, Wanda.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Duckworth versus Biegler Etheridge. Step forward.
Rebecca and Daryl Duckworth are suing Rebecca's sister, Angel Bigler, and her boyfriend, David Etheridge, for a loan and unpaid rent. The plaintiffs also claim Angel and David reneged on an agreement to adopt their baby.
Mrs. Duckworth, is this your sister?
Yes.
And your sister-in-law?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're the boyfriend?
Yes.
According to your complaint, there came a time when your sister, her boyfriend, and their child were in financial difficulties. They needed a place to stay. You invited them into your home. There was an arrangement for them to pay rent after a certain period of time. And then the 4 of you entered into an agreement. The agreement involved a baby that your sister was expecting. That agreement was not fulfilled. You and your husband don't have children.
We do.
You do.
Now.
Now. But then you did not.
Right.
And you made an agreement with your sister that they were going to allow you to adopt their baby because they couldn't financially care for another child. And when the baby was born, they changed their minds.
A little bit beforehand.
A little bit beforehand. And since you supported them and allowed them to live in your home rent-free, you feel that they should return that money to you because they broke the agreement.
Right.
Is that what the case is about?
And a previous loan amount.
Okay. When did they move in?
It was approximately the beginning of May of '04.
Why are you suing them now?
He didn't have a job, and neither did she. And we found out recently that he had gotten a job, and that's why we filed suit.
So for the last 2 years, you left them alone?
They actually had made a total of 4 payments, the last one being in March of '05.
Okay. Why were you having such financial difficulty?
Because he had lost his job. And so we got evicted from where we were living, and we didn't have anywhere to go, so we had asked them if we could move in.
How large a place did they have?
They have a 3-bedroom home.
Both of them work?
Them, no.
Who works in your family?
I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a heavy equipment operator.
What kind of work do you do?
Cabinet maker.
What kind of work are you doing now?
I just recently got laid off.
How long were you working before you got laid off?
A month and a half, 2 months.
And before that, how long had you been
I
unemployed?
hadn't worked in 2 years.
Well, how are you supporting yourself all this time?
She was getting welfare and...
But you were on unemployment. He was on
Yeah,
unemployment.
I was on unemployment.
How long have you been receiving welfare?
On and off since my son's been born. He's 7.
Why don't you work?
I just had 2 daughters. I have an 8-month-old.
Why do you have all these children when he's not working and you're not working? Are you telling me that you now have a welfare budget and there are 3 children on your welfare budget?
I only get it for one child, not even myself, just one child.
Which child?
My son. I don't get nothing from my daughters.
Well, that's a good thing. Is he the father of those children?
Yes.
Wouldn't you think, Miss Biegler, that the wiser thing would have waited until there was a certain amount of stability in your life before you had 2 children back to back?
Yeah.
And maybe if you were busy or working at something productive, you would have thought twice. You wouldn't have had so much time on your hands. What?
I was working when we got together for quite a while.
You just told me, sir, that in the last year you worked a month and a half.
I know, and we've been together 4
well,
years.
In the last year that she's had 2 children.
That was 4 years.
You got to do something else when you're home, like looking for a job. Now, they moved in May 2004.
Yes.
And what was your agreement?
It was about $580 a month for the 3 of them. But the circumstances were they would not have to pay any rent if they were saving their money to find their own place because he was still working at that time.
Okay, so there was no rent.
There was rent because they weren't saving their money to find a place.
Well, I don't know that. Miss Duckworth, how am I going to figure that out?
Right, I understand.
How am I going to figure that? Whether they were saving the money, whether they weren't saving their money?
We were saving our money. The first time that we moved with them, we lived with them for 2 months. We saved our money. We got our place on airport. We ran into financial difficulty. We borrowed $700 from them to pay our rent. And then we ran into more financial difficulty. We got evicted, and we lived with them 19 days, and they had booted us out.
So, you wouldn't have lived with me 19 minutes.
Can I say something, please?
What?
My wife and I weren't able to conceive children the first 16 years of our relationship, and we were looking into adoption, and the adoption fees were going to be approximately $10,000. When we realized that Angel was pregnant, my wife and her had a discussion about us possibly adopting her child. We offered her basically the $10,000 that we were going to pay in the adoption fees, and the rent and the money that we had loaned them was going to be deducted from the $10,000 that we were going to give them.
And then they changed their mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say something?
What?
When we were living there, we decided to move out the first time. Second time that we lived there, they kicked us out and put all our stuff out front. They didn't tell us we had to pay any rent.
Did you leave your son at her house?
Yes, so he could finish out the school year.
So, what you're telling me is they kicked you out, but you left your child there anyway?
To finish school.
I don't care what the reason was.
But I pulled him out of their home anyway, and he didn't finish school with them.
How long did he stay there?
Maybe a month?
Okay.
No.
2 months at the most?
Just a second.
He stayed.
He didn't stay the whole school year.
Shh, listen to me. When somebody is angry enough at you to kick you out of their house, it would seem to me if they were that kind of cruel people, I wouldn't leave a 5-year-old child in their house for an hour. So put your hand down. So I must assume that your relationship with your sister was sufficiently together and you felt that she was sufficiently responsible to take care of your son for a month or 2 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Other than that, you wouldn't have left him there with her.
She had offered to keep him.
So?
We were living in a backyard in a tent after we moved out of there.
You should have been living in a tent before that. You two, how old are you?
31.
And you?
37.
Grow up!
Can I say something?
No. Mr. Duckworth, in virtually every jurisdiction in this country, you are not allowed to enter into a contract for what they call the sale of a child. Had you gone through the adoption process, which would have entailed lawyers' fees and social service fees, it would have cost you $10,000. It's different when it's to a private party. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I want to hear about the loan that you made to them.
Okay. It was March of '04, and they were getting evicted, and they needed approximately $750 is what it was in order to not get evicted. So my husband had the money, and he drove it to their house and paid them $750. And before that, we had loaned them $450, and that was when they lived in a different place.
When did they tell you they'd start paying you back?
They were supposed to start paying us back $100 a month.
When?
Immediately.
How much did they pay you altogether?
$170.
You say you gave them back more money than that?
I believe it was 4 payments of $50.
Yeah.
Why did you stop?
We couldn't pay.
Why?
Didn't have the money.
2 able-bodied people should have the money. They were nice enough to loan you this money.
Okay, the same day that he had loaned us that money, he's the only person that knew that we had to go to Pleasanton to go pay the rent. And that same night, somebody had called the cops and said that we had left our 5-year-old alone, and there was a 20-year-old watching the boy. When we got home, the cops had been there, and he was the only one that knew that we were going to pay that rent. We had to go to Pleasanton.
You mean 2 people are necessary to do that?
That's what we did.
That's not what I asked you. You have a 5-year-old. You mean 2 people were necessary to go and pay your landlord the money? That was that heavy? Was it in pennies? That requires an answer. Why were 2 people necessary to go and pay the rent when you had a 5-year-old at home?
Well, somebody else was at our house, but I was driving and I didn't know where to go, and he knew where to go.
So why didn't he go?
I don't know.
Why didn't he go?
I don't know.
Say, here, I have a child home. I don't want to leave my child with a child because that's all I do. I don't work. So I might as well be home and be a responsible mother. So you take the rent that we just borrowed and go and bring it to the landlord. I will stay home and be a mother. Do you have a child?
Yes, I did.
How old?
He turned 1 June 7th, and I'm currently 8 months pregnant.
Great. I want to tell you something. The very best thing that could have happened to you was that you didn't take their child. You always got to look to the gene pool. Understand? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 139 on the calendar in the matter of Lynn versus Blaney.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
You don't look like combatants, 2 of you.
We're just neighbors.
Well, you're just neighbors, but you're neighbors who can't get along. According to your complaint, Miss Lynn, your neighbor, Miss Blaney, had you arrested, falsely arrested for assaulting her. You want her to cover your expenses for that.
Exactly.
Your bail, your lawyer's fees. Miss Blaney is counterclaiming because she says that you assaulted her. How long have you been neighbors?
About 4 years.
Right next door?
Yep.
Do you own or rent?
Own.
And Miss Blaney, do you own or rent?
I own. We live in a mobile home park, Your Honor.
Okay. So you've been in close proximity to each other for 4 years.
Yes.
Have you gotten along previously?
Yes. No. Yeah, we did.
I can see that we're going to have to do this my way. Yes, you've gotten along?
Yes, we did.
Until when?
Until early in 2005. I couldn't stand listening to the abuse going on next door, and I started to really dislike Linda Blaney.
What kind of abuse?
Extreme verbal abuse. Extreme.
To whom?
To Cody.
Cody is?
She's the granddaughter.
Verbal abuse by Miss Blaney?
Correct.
To her granddaughter?
Yes, and to many other people, too. There was often a lot of screaming going on at her place.
Okay, so you decided...
Yeah. I really care about Cody, and finally I couldn't stand listening to it anymore, so I called the police. I guess the police came and they questioned Cody, but they questioned her in front of her, and Cody is afraid.
That's not too bright.
No, and Cody is afraid of wrath of Grandma. So 2 days later I was out weeding in my garden, and I had planted some flowering ground cover for her several months before in front of her fence, and she came out and started cutting it down, and so I just stopped and was watching her, and then she picked it up and said, "These are yours, they belong in your yard," and threw them at me. That's not true, Your Honor.
Don't. Go ahead.
And then as I was starting to pick them up and I was saying, "No, they belong in your yard," she body slammed me to try to keep me from picking them up. And when I tossed it into her yard, she started slamming me with the weed eater. And she hit me a couple of times and punched me in the jaw. I attempted to hit her back, and then I ended up wrestling the weed eater away from her.
Did you hit her with the weed whacker?
I poked her.
So you hit her?
Yeah, but not hard. It was more to make the point.
Just a second. So you took it away from her,
yeah,
and then you hit her with it?
Yeah, she hit me with it several times. I did it more to make a point. I said, "Now you finally hit someone who hit you back." And then I threw it to the ground. But it was not with force.
Okay. And you were arrested?
Yes, which I was extremely shocked.
Because Miss Blaney called the police?
I called the police as well.
You both did?
Mm-hmm.
And the case was subsequently dismissed?
Yes.
Was it dismissed prior to trial or after trial?
Prior.
All right, Miss Blaney, tell me your version of these events.
I was already out in my yard, doing my yard. I didn't see Rhonda anywhere. I was out there, and I done around my fence. I'd put a fence up between us. Let me explain. And when I first moved in the trailer there,
Who lives in the trailer, Miss Blaney?
It's me and my 2 grandkids. I have custody, and I adopted my grandson.
How old is Cody?
She'll be 13 on the 19th.
And how old is your grandson?
He's 3 now. I've had them both since he was 3 days old.
Where's their mother?
Her mother is in rehab right now. At the time I took her, she was really highly on drugs, and she was running the streets and prostituting at that time.
Your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
And she's the mother of the 3-year-old as well?
No, my son is the father.
Your son is the father of the 3-year-old?
Yes.
Where is he?
He's in prison right now.
Sounds to me like your mothering skills aren't so terrific.
Well, they didn't start doing this until they was in their 30s, so.
Her son's only in his early 20s.
My son is 33 years old.
I don't care if he's 33, I don't care if he's 15. Okay, so, keep going.
Can I tell you ahead of time what had happened? 3 or 4 months after I moved in, this lady here in Rhonda Lynn went off for some reason about 2 or 3 in the morning. She bangs on my trailer and puts a dent on the side of my trailer, hollering my name and everything. And then she gets in her car. Well, I'm on the phone with the police department, and I'm telling them this lady's crazy. I said, she's hollering and screaming, and I swear I don't know what it was about. She gets in her Blazer that she used to have, or whatever car it was, and she sat in there, and she had hit the steering wheel and screamed and hollering. By the time the police could get there, she had done drove off. That's one incident that started all this. Next one, she takes my granddaughter into her trailer and cuts her hair without my knowledge. Nobody told her to cut her hair. She had no reason to do that. Then she had called the police and said, I bit my granddaughter. Okay, I was biting my granddaughter. That's what they had told me. And I'm beating my kids in there. I don't whip my kids. That's my problem. Maybe I should whip them, but I don't.
I would say that that's not a good idea. Why did you cut her granddaughter's hair?
Actually, she had cut her granddaughter's hair, and it was, extreme.
Why did you cut her granddaughter's hair?
Because her granddaughter was crying to me about how she felt that it was extremely uneven, and all I did was even it up. Could hardly tell, except it didn't look
Did you ask
choppy.
her to even out your hair?
Yes.
No.
Well, how come you let her cut your hair?
I couldn't say no because I was just in the mirror. She was just fixing it up for me, I guess.
Okay. Not a big deal.
Cody's afraid.
You're not supposed to touch somebody else's child's hair, change their appearance.
Cody's afraid of her grandmother and has asked me 3 times to adopt her. And unfortunately, her grandmother has convinced her to lie about this today, which is, I'm sad about that.
I wouldn't be sad. I think she's a very nice young lady.
Yes, she
Thank
is.
you, Your Honor.
Now, let's go to May 11th.
Okay, like I said, I put a fence up to keep the baby in. While I was going around the fence, I went outside because I have about this much section in front of my yard that has grass there. So I go around there and I start weed eating. Well, these things that she had planted a couple months prior to that, they was going everywhere into my yard where the baby was picking them out. So I picked them and started picking them out. Well, I'm down like this on the ground and I'm throwing them this way, not realizing it's going over on the driveway in front of her trailer, excuse me, And so I had every intention of picking them up and taking them, after I got through. She comes around her trailer and she said, "You don't throw them on my property." I said, "Ronnie, just get away from me." "Oh, you want to fight, huh?" And all of a sudden she hits me, which I have pictures to show the swelling of my jaw. While I'm down, I get up and then I'm not gonna lie, I swung at her, but she kept doing this to me, okay? And that's fine. So I took the weed eater and I pushed it in her.
So you hit her with the weed whacker?
I didn't hit her. I kept trying to keep her away from me. And then all of a sudden, I have a scratch here. I got pictures of that where she jerked as hard as she could, and then she just slung it and hit me on my side. I have pictures also on that also. So that's when I go into the trailer. My neighbors come running, and I went inside, and they all came inside, and that's when the police came. I didn't call them. I didn't have to. There was other people that called them.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have a witness too, Your Honor.
Who was that? Your boyfriend?
No. He
Yes.
was a neighbor. No.
She's been seeing him.
No, I have not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rhonda Lynn claims former neighbor Linda Blaney had her falsely arrested for assault. Linda is countersuing for pain and suffering from the alleged attack.
Okay, Cody, you want to stand up next to your grandmother? Did you see any of these events from the beginning or from the end?
The only scene I seen was the one with the weed whacker on May 11th.
Well, tell me what you saw only, not what anybody told you, okay?
I was inside with my baby cousin, and we was watching TV. Then I heard a lot of commotion with Rhonda and my grandmother. And then I walked outside to see, and they were both fighting. And then my grandma did push the weed whacker, and she's like,
Rhonda was like...
Pushed the weed whacker in her stomach?
Yeah, not eventually, like, right here. Just to, like, get her away from it. And then she's like, did you see that, Cody? She hit me. I was like, don't hit my grandma. So I went inside to call 911. And the police got here, and they started taking pictures of my grandmother.
Okay. Now I'll see your photographs, Miss Blaney.
This one's on my wrist, my ribs, right here. And this is the picture of my yard where it all happened. Right here, both of these.
I also have photographs and all of that too for you.
And I also have the police report and more documents of her record that was pulled.
Okay, you have pictures of your injuries?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see them.
There you go.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
There is an open case against her now for hitting another lady in a wheelchair. I have the report here from the police department.
Listen to me. I think you both behaved very badly that day.
I agree.
I think that you both behaved like children, not like grown-ups. I think that when you started pulling out the stuff and throwing it on her driveway...
It wasn't on her driveway. It was in the street, Your Honor.
Well, you told me it was in her driveway. You were
Well,
taking out
it's in the street in front of her trailer. She thinks she owns the driveway right there.
I think... Listen to me. Miss Blaney, you told me two things. You told me you took it out, but you didn't realize you were throwing it in front of her driveway.
Right.
And then you said to me, but I was going to pick it up.
Right.
So if you didn't realize what you were doing, why would you think I'm going to pick it up?
Because the fact when I do my yard, it always goes out into... The way the trailer park is, Your Honor, you come
Miss
into a...
Blaney, either you didn't know you were doing the wrong thing, or you knew you were doing the wrong thing, and you tended to clean up after yourself later.
My whole yard needed to be cleaned up because I had the weed whacked all in front, if you look at the pictures.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I think that you both behaved badly that day.
I have a witness too, Your Honor.
Who was that? Your boyfriend?
No, he was the neighbor. No.
She's been seeing him.
No, I have not. I have a boyfriend.
Listen, you don't want me to dismiss your case, do you?
No, Your Honor.
I've already warned you once.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead.
He lives across the driveway, and he and his girlfriend were on the porch and watching me weed and all that.
Tell me your name.
Aaron Huckel.
Mr. Huckel, you remember May 11th, 2005?
I do.
What time of the day was this?
It was evening time.
What were you doing on the porch?
I was talking with my former girlfriend. We were discussing our day.
And how do you know Miss Lynn?
She lives across from me.
Still does?
Still does.
Mm-hmm. So tell me what you observed on May 11th.
Just heard them arguing. And when I looked up, I seen that she had hit her with the weed eater, and then she took it back and hit her back with the weed eater, and she grabbed her side and ran inside. And then the police came, and then they started to take Rhonda away. And then my former girlfriend thought that wasn't right because she thought that Linda
I don't
provoked
tell me
me.
what your former girlfriend thought or what your former girlfriend said.
Okay.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
You didn't speak to the police?
They didn't want to talk to us. They
You
said
didn't call the district attorney? You didn't do anything?
No, didn't call the district attorney, but somebody called us and gave my former girlfriend and I both a phone interview.
So you did speak to someone eventually?
Yes. Yes.
And you told them that you saw Miss Blaney hit Miss Lynn with the weed whacker?
Yes.
And then you saw Miss Lynn take the weed whacker and hit Miss Blaney with the weed whacker?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the only issue that I have, Miss Lynn...
Yes, ma'am.
...is who hit who first?
I have the investigators' report of different witnesses that saw, and they all have the same story, which is...
Well, I'd like to see the reports. Those police reports?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see them.
I have a police report also, Your Honor.
I'd like to see them.
Here's all that. And there's photos in there for her.
I also have the reports, police reports on her of her record of assaulting other people.
Not interested.
Right.
Did you speak to the district attorney, Miss Blaney?
Yes, I did. They kept postponing the case, and it kept going and postponing. I told him, I said, you know, I'd rather just put this behind me. I said, I don't even want to do this anymore. I said, I want to find me a place to move to. I said, I'm just tired. I just want to leave me alone. So I'd rather just leave it alone and let's go on with it, is what I told the DA.
The truth is that she had no evidence.
Oh, that's not true at all, Miss Lynn. That's not true at all.
Well, according to
That's
the
not
lawyers.
true at all.
Right.
Here's the first statement by an Aaron
Huckel.
Huckel. That's you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You said to the police, you indicated that words were exchanged between the two women. You couldn't hear it, and at one point, Blaney appeared to attack Lynn, swinging her fist toward Lynn. You didn't tell me that, sir.
That's because I don't remember specifically at the moment, so that's why I didn't say it.
You said that to the police, but you didn't say that to me.
Correct.
Okay. And what's your girlfriend's name? Your ex-girlfriend?
Erica.
Well, Erica says clearly that you hit her first.
Well, see, I was down on my knees, Your Honor, and they didn't see that because my car was right there. And then when I stood up...
Who's Rose?
She was another neighbor.
I fired her husband I used to be apartment manager. I fired her husband, and that's the
not her
reason why
husband.
they done this, because they wasn't even nowhere around when this happened.
Yes, they were.
Your Honor, right now they're against Rhonda because Rhonda started on them also. That's why they're not here. She started to fight with this woman
Listen
here.
to me. I want you to be quiet.
Okay.
One thing I don't understand, Miss Lynn.
Yes, ma'am?
When you saw Miss Blaney outside, why did you go outside?
I was actually outside first. I'd been out there weeding for about an hour.
Well, you weren't both weeding in the same exact...
she came...
Shh. You can sit down now. You weren't both weeding in the same exact spot, Miss Lynn.
No.
So there came a point when you went over to where Miss Blaney was weeding. There's no question about that.
Actually, I was on my side weeding in front of the fence. Well, the fence was right here. I was right there. And she came out, and she was literally like 3 feet from me. And so I just stopped, and I watched, and then that's when it happened. And the fight actually happened in front of my place, not in front of hers. I'd like to point out, too, that I am a minister.
Of what?
Internet.
Of...
No.
Your counterclaim is dismissed, Miss Blaney. Do you understand?
Yes.
I warned you 3 times. 3rd time's a charm. You get it?
Yes.
Because there is no question in my mind that you hit her first with the weed whacker. I don't know whether she hit you first in the face, but there's no question in my mind that you hit her first with a dangerous instrument. And she wrestled it away from you and hit you back. So when I say that you both behaved badly, you both behaved badly. So I have absolutely no compunctions dismissing your counterclaim. You get it?
Yes.
Because you can't control yourself. And quite frankly, Miss Lynn, I'm not so sure that you didn't hit her first.
I swear to God, I did not.
Not sure, because if you had had bad feelings against this lady, and clearly you did, you had called the police on her 2 days before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the first time or not. I don't know
Yes, it was.
if the incident that she refers to with regard to the car and the truck...
None of that happened.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
It's true.
And I'm certainly not so sure about this minister business. So I'm going to ask you again. You're a minister of what?
I marry, bury, baptize, but all I've actually done is marry.
Do you have a congregation?
Actually, no. I'm independent.
What divinity school did you graduate from?
Universal Life Church, Church of Divine Man, and Berkeley Psychic Institute.
Where are they located?
Sacramento.
Did you ever attend school there?
Yes, I did.
For how long?
About 5 years.
Are you telling me you were a full-time student in a divinity school in Sacramento for 5 years, or are you pulling my leg?
Not full-time. It was part-time.
How part?
Evenings and weekends.
5 evenings a week and weekends? 1 evening a month? No. 2 evenings a year? 1 weekend seminar? Very easy for me to find out.
A minimum of 3 nights a week.
For 5 years?
Well, after I became
You know that
minister,
I don't believe a word you're telling me?
I'm telling the truth.
No. First of all, I never heard of any of these ministries. That doesn't mean that they don't exist, but it's not like the First Congregational Church.
There's
Baptist
a copy
Church.
of my credentials at the back of that. Just, all right.
Miss Lynn.
Yes, ma'am?
Let's get it together, madam. I don't believe you. I think that you and Miss Blaney acted badly on May 11th. I don't think it requires a lawsuit. I have already dismissed her counterclaim because I'm telling you that I think she behaved badly and she was the first one to hit you with a dangerous instrument. And I'm not convinced that you did not hit her first. We're annoyed that she was taking these weeds and throwing them on your property and socked her first. She has pictures of her jaw, which appears to be black and blue. Black and blue jaw doesn't come from the weed whacker where you hit her in the knee. So I feel real comfortable in saying I don't believe that either one of you did the right thing on May 11th, 2005. The cases are dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may